I love sushi.
I love Japan, period.
The tea ceremonies. J-Rock! Yeah.
Garuga Mesh!
Oh, yeah.
I love anime!
Yeah. And manga!
And gaming! Oh, DDR!
Smiley K!
Hey! Sakura kang ikimasu!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast. I am the best guy ever, and I am here today with Hypocrite.
How very conventional of you.
Munchie. Where?
Tiny hats! I love tiny hats!
I haven't seen you with a tiny hat in a while. I'm getting disillusioned. And also, Digibro.
I'm still alive.
Somehow, despite all that drug and alcohol
Despite how gay and dead I am, I'm still alive.
That's true. Okay, let's see. What's our topic for today? Munchie, tell us what the topic is.
Our topic for today is the elusive, mysterious concept of a convention, specifically a nerd, geek, stupid, retard convention for babies who poop in their diapers.
Which you, as I understand, are a huge fan of.
I love more than fucking pooping my own diaper. I love to poop in other people's diapers and smear it all over my manhood.
Right. So we're talking about conventions. So
Yes.
I know that Digi and I and Munchie have been to conventions. Gib, what's your experience with conventions?
Well, I've been to 3 conventions ever. First one was
What manner?
The first one was London Expo. I don't know what it was called. I think it was just called the London Expo, and it's this huge big thing in London near the river. And it was
What was
just
it for?
it was just nerd stuff. There was games, there was anime, there was all sorts of stuff. I got a Phoenix Wright book and some badges for Hitman Reborn, and I don't know. I was going there with friends, and it was really my first experience of like seeing cosplayers in real life, and it was actually a lot cooler than I thought it would be. So that was that. Then there was
Well, those good cosplayers, yeah.
yeah, and then the second one was the BronyCon, which is slightly documented on my channel on Give and Take, and that was the first time I met you guys. In fact, all of you
Sure
in
was.
this call is the
Hey,
first time I
Romeo.
met you in real life.
Oh, yeah.
And after that is RadCon 1 and 2, and that's it.
Oh, I know those.
That's a conference, though. That's not a convention.
Yeah,
That's
true.
close enough.
It was certainly
okay,
a
cool.
con. I feel ripped off. So should
Got
everyone
him.
else.
It's gay.
Well, okay. I don't know about you guys, but I have not been. I mean, yes, I went to BronyCon with you guys, but that was like for a good reason. When I was young, I used to go to anime conventions very frequently and would cosplay and would be really excited for them, even though I always had a shitty time. But now I realized it's kind of like my experience with D&D. When I was young, I got really excited for it, but now I realize that they're terrible and I don't enjoy them at all. But it's possible that there's new ways for me to experience them, and in the future, I'll figure out ways to make them fun. And looking forward to that one day. For example, doing a panel and being praised by the public for my genius and my creative abilities. That would be cool.
Kind of feel like I missed out on like the con experience, because the second con I went to, I was already on a panel, and the first con I went to, I wasn't really doing anything. I was just walking around, overwhelmed by it. But I kind of liked, I saw somebody in a Luffy, like they cosplayed as when Luffy was wearing wax on his hands and feet.
Yeah,
And
Champion Luffy. I remember that.
Yeah, and I was just like, whoa, it's like things I know and like, and people are making good costumes, and there's like a fucking metric ton of keyblades. I didn't really know what the hell that was.
Yep.
But
yep.
yeah, I kind of wish I was going to cons earlier, because they seem like fun. They seem like fun for a kid, for a young teenager, and I missed out.
Oh, and which I am. And greatly enjoy.
Allegedly. I think you're an undercover
A performance
adult.
artist?
I think you're trying to, I think what you are a plant by the FBI to convict us all of pedophilia. That's what I suspect you are. You're trying to bait us into it, but I'm not going to crack.
In Andrew Hussey's webcomic, Whistles the Clown, there is a species of plants that only eat clowns, and that's
Right.
what I am. I'm a plant that only eats clowns.
I've been to
So-
a few conventions in my day.
Right.
Such
But
as-
which ones did you go
Yep.
to?
I've mostly been to Otakon a bunch of times, and it's sort of similar to you, Nate. The first time I went to Otakon was in 2008, and it was the greatest experience of my life. It was mind-blowing and life-changing. It was the coolest thing ever. And every single year since, it has been worse. Like, progressively, it's less and less interesting, less and less fun. And there was one time that I went to NekoCon, which is a local anime convention, and that was enough. I went to one local convention, and my conclusion was local conventions aren't worth it. You go to the big ones.
Definitely true.
Because there's nothing at a local convention. It's just an excuse for a bunch of nerds to stand around together.
Like, what are the... I see there are a few functions that are served by a convention. I mean, mostly my experiences with anime conventions. And to me, they serve as a gathering place for like-minded people. That one is already horrible because I don't like any... I've never met a person at a convention I liked. They've always been terrible.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, it is a huge gathering place for autism. It simply is, and I don't like hanging out with autistic people. They make me uncomfortable.
More so than autism, just nerds. I mean, I would say we're all on the spectrum there when it comes to nerds, but like,
Sure.
It's not even that most of them are like weird. They're just kind of awkward or have a different sense of humor. I feel like the problem that I have with nerds in general, of hanging out with them, is that nerds are a class of people who think that like having a shared knowledge is the same thing as having a personality. Or
That's true.
like
That's true.
making a joke is simply stating a reference to a thing, and at conventions that's really amplified to the upteenth degree. Where like you could have a panel going on and someone like makes reference to like and not all shows are good, and then someone in the crowd's gonna go like Garzy's wing, and then people go I also know what that is, and that kind of shit. That's like the element of conventions that always makes me want to not be there anymore.
I don't blame people for wanting to share that kind of relationship with each other. It's just that with the absence of a decent person behind it, or just a personality behind it, that's where it's a problem.
I agree. I think
I hate conventions.
I think
Don't go.
People who are awkward and fuck them. But I do appreciate the nerdy convention area for allowing like real human beings like us to convene, because like BronyCon, BronyCon was at the time everyone was kind of like tired of the pony stuff, but it was just really cool to just go to a place and generally know people that know you and stuff.
I need some huge scare quotes on real people when it comes to us.
I'm real.
Well,
I think
that's true. But really, I wanted to talk about what is the function that a convention serves that draws people to it. Because you've talked about this before, Digi, and how like the only thing that you can get out them.
I think it's because
go for it.
It precisely because it's mostly nerds. Because nerds don't go out and have friends. This is their only chance to get together and make their stupid jokes and not be ridiculed for it. They just want, they want an internet forum, but in IRL, IRL internet.
But see,
forum.
okay, that's true. That's true. But all right,
it's just a much bigger deal for everyone. So which is why it keeps getting funded all over the place in different forms.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe people have figured this out better than me, all right? But I've got an axe to grind here, because I kind of had this idea when I was young, and I started going to conventions. Me and my brother went to Anime Boston every year for like 8 years, and
your brother being Ben Saint, just for
Ben
anyone
Saint,
who's
that's
not up on the times here.
That's true. And Kineticon, which was a smaller one and was less worth our time, but still went occasionally. And I've been to a few here and there. The highlight of my entire con-going experience was when I found out that, and this is like one of the things that cons are useful for, actually. Yoshitaka Amano, illustrator of Final Fantasy, was at like New York, not Comic-Con, but like some New York comic convention. And me and a friend from my anime club in college found out, and she wanted to go. I can't remember why. Actually, this was funny. This was when Gurren Lagann had just taken off in a big way, and I had not seen it yet. So we went to the convention. Everything was Gurren Lagann, and I had no idea what any of it was. It's funny thinking back to that.
Crazy.
But anyway, I met Amano there and got to shake his hand and have his autograph that I have to this day, and that was like the best thing a con has ever provided for me. But when I was a little kid, what I wanted out of an anime convention was nerd friends. And I would go there, I got dressed up like fucking Monkey D. Luffy. I sewed my costume with my mom for weeks, if not months, worked really hard on it, got together, all my money so I could afford to buy things and have a fun time there. And I went there, and I stood in halls, and I walked around, and I looked at things, and no friends appeared to me. No friends magically sprung up for me. And I will never forgive conventions for hyping me up for making friends and then not delivering. I'll never forget the disappointment I had when I was coming home and I just spent a bunch of money on anime bullshit I didn't need or want, and was still a sad child. That was cruel of you, fucking Anime Boston. That was very cruel of you.
How cruel and unusual to present
was.
merchandise and then have the option to buy it.
That's resist capitalism, baby.
I kind of like that whole, like, I mean, not like being sad. I mean, like, making a costume and being a bit of a loser, faggot, idiot, making a costume and wearing a costume. I kind of want to do that still. Like, even though I know there's nothing to really be gained from it, I kind of want to make a really terrible homestuck
It's fun.
cosplay
It's fun
of some
in
kind.
and of itself.
And then,
if you
to
go
to
with
a
friends, though,
I
it's totally different. I never went with friends. I went with my brother, who it wasn't cool to hang out with, and my mom. So, like, I was just there hoping things would happen for me, and they didn't.
Yeah,
Nate, what you have to understand
like
is the reason I like cons because I exclusively go to cons with friends, and it's
That's probably
always
why
a
they're fun.
fucking blast.
It's really like
Yeah.
the difference between going to Disneyland by yourself and with friends.
Exactly.
Like, there's stuff to do, but it doesn't feel the same.
I'll say that I do think part of what has made cons that are, like Otakon weaker for me year after year is that, like, I do go with my friends, but we don't stay together. We all split up and go do different things, and we don't really hang out during the, like, Victor always, my brother Victor, he always goes with his girlfriend Hope, and so they, like, he immediately fucks off to hang out with her the whole time, even if we, I mean, last year he drove up with her, but it used to be he'd come with us, and she would just happen to also, be going, but then, like, my other friends, we all have kind of different, anime we're interested in or different things we want to see. So we all just split up and we rarely end up encountering each other. And it can be weird, like, going around to this stuff alone and then just kind of feeling like, is this, like, does this mean that much to me that I'm willing to, drive 4.5 hours and spend all this money just to, like, be in this place so I can sit alone and, and just see this thing that I've seen some variation of 8 times already, no matter what it is.
Yeah. To me, it feels really like 2006 in the sense of, like, I don't know, like, it reminds me of a time when, like, Full Metal Alchemist, the first one, had come out, and everyone was getting really excited about it and watching things on fucking Adult Swim and Toonami, and, like, there was an emergence of this culture. But now, I don't know, I feel like it's gotten a little stale.
I mean, there was a time where
I'm over it.
Yeah, there was a time where you could go to a convention and, like, every anime convention has, like, screenings of different shows. And, there was a time when they would be screening something that you legitimately couldn't find. Like, you did not know where to buy the DVD or the VHS. You didn't know where to stream it or download it. Like, you could go to a convention and see something that like, just sitting and watching anime could actually be valuable. And now it's like there's no, like, when you go to those screenings now, they literally stream them off Crunchyroll. Like, it's just them playing Crunchyroll on a screen, It's like, I could
just thinking about that is hilarious.
Yeah, and I mean it like, even if you were going with your friends, it's like I could sit with my friends and watch this at home, and instead I'm watching it in a giant group. And, like, there are times where that can be fun to see an audience react to something, but then there's the other times where the audience is laughing at the wrong moments, and it, like, I get, I'm a fucking pretentious elitist faggot when it comes to this shit, but I really can't stand being in a crowd that seems to be getting something very different out of something than what I'm getting.
Dude, I totally agree. I can't stand consuming media with one other person there in the fear that, like, not even that they do it, but in the fear that they'll get it wrong or not be in sync with me. If I'm taking it seriously, can't stand it.
Like, it was so great when we all watched Mad Bull together at RadCon 2, which is 9 guys screaming the whole time at Mad Bull. And that's very much like what the convention experience should be at its height. But could you imagine watching Mad Bull with, like, different people, and you don't know who they are, and they could be, you know, like, that's a show that a lot of people say is, quote, awesomely bad, or is, like, a really terrible show, and, like, imagine if you're in that crowd. This is the title of the panel is So Bad It's Good, Shitty Anime That You Should Check Out, Mad Bull 34. I promise that has happened. Mad Bull has been in those panels. I've seen it, so that's how I feel in those crowd situations. Is like,
that makes sense.
On the one hand, I love, like, my favorite thing, one of my favorite things about conventions is the feeling of, these are my people, these are the people who are watching anime, who I'm talking to online. This is the crowd who gets what I'm about on some level, but at the same time, they're totally not my people, because they're walking around dressed as Kirito, and being like, anime is great, and I'm like,
actually, anime is a Japanese colloquialism.
You guys are completely off base, off color, and this is based totally in the fact that you guys are losers. If you guys weren't losers, then you would realize that cons are great.
I could still imagine myself enjoying a con, definitely.
Well, I would never call Hippo a loser. I'm talking about the other two numbskull knuckleheads.
Of course.
I'm hoping this year to fly out to stay with Munchie for Anime Expo.
Yeah. So. But believe me, I have like a whole like fucking history of every con I've been to and the ups and downs of each con.
I heard the crinkling of a piece of paper when you said that.
Yeah,
you actually wrote this down.
I actually have one. Anyway, cons are great because they offer 3 things, and by 3 things I mean I'm thinking of one in my head, and once I'm done with that one, I'll probably have more ideas in my head. Okay. When you get your bros, when you get your beefcakes, when you get your manly fucking men that you surround yourself with on a daily basis, your people, your stash bros, your ham boys.
Right.
When you get them all in a car and you go up to some like shitty like anime, like you all hate anime, not you, but as in like you and your friends all hate anime. And you go up to an anime convention. It's fucking great because you just get to belittle, ridicule, and antagonize all of the goers of the con. Go to panels, ruin them.
You know what you are, Munchie?
Yes.
You're a fucking Chad. That's what you are. You're a disgusting fucking Chad. I'm just a little boy trying to make friends, and here you come with you and your fucking bully squad trying to embarrass me and make fun of the things that I love. Go fuck yourself, Munchie.
Munchie, have you gone to a furry convention and done that?
Oh my god, no! But that's been a fucking top billing, dude. Well, I guess you could. Well, I have been to various brony conventions, so
yeah, it's like half and half.
Is that why you were at BronyCon? Just to laugh at us?
No. That was a fucking
Munchie?
joke. That was a charade. That was a meme. That was a jest. I like to go with my friends to conventions because we like me and my friends are both in sync and we know what we will like and we go to the same panels together because we both have an appreciation for whoever the fuck Japanese retard bitch whoever's talking.
I like how this has gone from me and my friends to we, the two of us, have this connection.
I'm getting
one
a
guy.
slightly different feeling from this description now.
Yes. It's one guy, but he changes masks more often than you think.
He plays many roles
He's
in
a
Munchie's
cosplayer.
life.
You know.
No, as in one to two people come, but it's always like
As in,
different
he
people.
finds victims and he
Okay, I
skins
get
them.
you.
and
As
wears
in,
their
I
skins,
kill
right.
Native Americans. What was I fucking? Oh yeah, we go there and we
Talk
all
about how you like conventions.
yeah, and we appreciate the panels together, and then we go buy merch where we couldn't buy it anywhere else, or at least I don't know how to. I don't know how to use the fucking computer. It's hard.
I see the merch is a big thing. That's like the one good thing about conventions.
One time I
It's
literally
fun to look at
asked
the merch.
Digi how to buy anime because I didn't know how to, and then he taught me, and then I still
buys
didn't
anime?
know.
Did you ask me that and then I immediately made that entire 40-minute buyer's guide to anime? Is that what happened?
No, I asked you like a year after that, and then like while you were teaching me, I Google searched like how to buy anime merch, and then I saw that thumbnail, and then
I remember that.
I linked you the thumbnail with fire around your eyes and like you glowing like a fucking golden crisp god. Anyway, so you can
I
buy
do
the merch
remember
with your meaty sockets. And you just have a fucking good time. You get to hang out, and you get to spend time in an exotic city with exotic sluts doing gay shit, and you get to fucking you just get to look at people.
Sluts?
And
What's going on?
it's sick. It's
Tell me
fucking
about
sick.
the sluts. If I go to a convention, are there
What?
exotic sluts there?
What's happening here? Oh my God, it's Jesse. Oh shit.
Oh my
okay.
God.
I've been here the whole time.
He has. Jesse did join like 10 minutes ago. I wasn't
shit,
sure
I
if
had
he
no
was
idea.
mic'd though. You
Nobody's
sound like you're underwater.
Yeah, I was gonna
You
say.
do.
Yeah,
I
your
mean,
mic
you
is
were just
interesting.
drowned. You were drowning
you-
in water.
Do I?
Are you mouth deep in pussy again, Jesse?
That is a possibility. There are many possibilities. The other possibility could be that my microphone is broken from the flood. Nobody knows. Everything.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
God, the fucking $300 one broke.
I don't know. You guys are saying I sound underwater. I haven't heard it yet. I don't fucking know nothing.
Oh yeah, it
I'm
broke.
the underwater boy.
Either it broke or you're just recording through the wrong microphone, which
I am
That's
an
what it sounds
underwater
like.
boy, and I have AIDS, and no one can stop me from having AIDS.
So,
are you
It's
recording
thematically
right now,
relevant
Jesse?
To be,
Yeah.
cool.
Excellent.
yes.
All right, that's cool.
Jesse, do you wanna talk
why
about
don't
your
you tell us-
convention
well, actually, Munchie's
You
still finishing
motherfucker,
his
I'm
shit.
not done. I'm fucking
All right.
skin you
Well,
alive.
Wrap it up. You're taking the whole fucking show.
All I'm
Munchie.
saying is,
Goddamn.
at
Who
Anime
the
Expo,
fuck is Munchie?
oh my god, listen, buddy, I deserve time, okay?
Hey, it's his catchphrase. Listen, buddy. It's my favorite.
I
thing
thought
you
his
say.
I thought his catchphrase was
No,
I
that's a
thought his
distinct
catchphrase was "Get on the ground, you fucking nigger."
I have many
That too.
catchphrases.
Classic.
Anyway,
That's a good one.
at Anime Expo, I got a Gurren Lagann like
imagine a
book thing.
sitcom about Munchie. Like he's the Kramer. He comes in the door, and like whenever something weird happens, he looks at the camera and goes, "Get on the ground, you fucking nigger!"
Dude,
and the studio
I'm
audience
imagining him
laughs
being
and
hired out
claps.
like a clown to children's parties. Hey kids, get on the ground, you fucking niggers!
Okay, imagine you're
They're all
watching
good
like a
choices.
normal Seinfeld episode, and like Jerry's in his apartment, he's talking to George about how he can't get laid or something, and then like I burst through the door like Kramer, like in my pizza jumpsuit and hamburger sweater, and I'm just get on the ground, you fucking niggers.
And George would be like, I'm getting frustrated by all these racial slurs.
I'm not even black.
Oh, to wrap this up, I like Gurren Lagann. I got a Gurren
Well,
Lagann
George
book.
is very
I
blue
couldn't have
pill.
got that anywhere else other than Anime Expo, and it made me happy, and I really like it. And
Right.
yes, okay, okay, bye.
Merchandise is cool. That's one fun thing. I never would have ever gotten Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Plus if I hadn't seen it
Well,
that fateful day
exactly.
and
I
that
still
convention
haven't like
window
got
and
a
bought
good
it.
like convention piece of merchandise yet.
It's about the
Yeah, on
fucking
the-
experience.
I guess.
I've probably spent
Did you buy your
over.
Diamond Tiara fucking plushie at
Yeah, but that was a
BronyCon?
piece of shit. It was like the worst kind of the cheapest made
Oh.
plushie.
Diamond Tiara is crying right now. She's
Diamond
wounded.
Tiara is so rich. She deserves to be made out of fucking gold.
That's
I
true.
got the
That's true.
cheapest one because I'm a bitch. But I couldn't find a better one, and I was.
I've probably lifetime spent like at least $5,000 on merch at conventions. Like that's
Lord.
one of the big reasons I go there is to drop a lot
I
of
spent
money.
more
At
money
least
there
$1,000
than
for
anywhere
me.
else, but I was never that big of a spender on that kind of stuff anyway.
I go
Well-
to conventions to spend money and kill people.
Yeah.
a huge part of why I went to Otakon so many times is that it happens to almost always fall directly on my birthday, which is August 8th, and so my dad would usually he'd buy me the trip to Otakon and then give me a bunch of spending money, and I'd just blow through it all there.
Oh yeah,
so
that makes sense.
So it was like a big birthday thing for me. That's where I got a lot of my figures, a lot of my posters, a lot of my art books, and just a bunch of other shit. All of which I
fucking fun.
regret. None of that money should ever have been spent.
I love figures. I
Problem
really love
with
figures.
me is at the moment is like I don't have any like huge like desire to own things about a thing. Like even the My Little Pony wasn't that great. I have a Luna plushie, but that was like a gift. So, that's great, but like I wouldn't buy a lot of Brony stuff. The only thing I would buy is like Homestuck, but Homestuck's dead. And no one will
It
ever
is
make
dead.
any Homestuck art. Or
Not at
anything
Anime
ever
Expo,
again.
bro. Not at Anime Expo. X-Bro. Dude,
Expo.
there's so much Homestuck shit there. I was in my
That
element.
boggles my
Oh
mind.
shit! Well, I gotta go there then. I gotta go.
Dude, there's
'cause
this
that's
one
the only thing
Vriska.
they'll
There's
care.
this one Vriska cosplayer that was just like.
Is that your
I
sound
don't know what
effect
that
for
means,
sexual
but
attraction? Is that what that's?
I like it.
Yeah,
Alright, so-
you know when you start to foam at the mouth and also foam at your penis.
Yes. Yes, I do.
You've all kind of covered my main reasons for going to conventions, but I want to summarize them. Like there's pretty much 3 big ones, and then a 4th one that applies to me and you guys to some extent. Well, to the same extent, really. But anyways, the first big reason is being around your people. To whatever
Yeah.
ills or gains that
Awesome.
may entail, and for me, the best, like the ultimate being around my people thing, because out in the convention halls, I don't care, man. It's just a bunch of fucking people I don't want to talk to. In the panels, I don't care. But there's one place I go at Otakon every year, and I spend hours there, which is Ota Karaoke. I hang out in the karaoke room all day and just listen to people attempt to sing anime songs. And that's when I truly feel at home. Because you have to have a certain level of, passion to want to do that. It's to an audience
Sure,
of nobody. There's only, 10 people who hang out in there. There's a bunch of regulars who every year, it's the same few people singing singing the songs, you're getting up every year, and I recognize all of them, though I don't talk to them. We communicate only through song. That's not
great.
entirely true.
That's
I do.
beautiful.
I
That's beautiful.
trade a few words, but I don't fucking buddy up with them or anything. They're often cosplaying and stuff. I mean, you're gonna hear the fucking every song from Inuyasha 1,000 times, and you're gonna hear a bunch of the same songs every year. It's always interesting to hear.
God bless. That Haruhi one. That's gonna be
Not a
up
lot
there.
of that. Not a
Really?
lot of God
Yeah.
knows. I would be the one probably to go up and sing that.
Even I'd do that one. That's a classic.
But it's always interesting to see which song is the big one that year. Like this past year, it
Yeah,
was all
yeah.
JoJo, because the show's just so
Of
big.
course.
Is that a JoJo reference?
What?
Indeed.
Nothing.
Just
I was,
those
it was,
words
dude,
you
it
said.
was
You
so
said JoJo.
cool.
That's a
Dude,
good
Nate,
JoJo
high
reference
five.
you
We
just
did like
made.
the joke that other people do, and then we did it ourselves. So that means we're funny.
Anyways, yeah, I always hang out there. That's my best, connecting with the nerds place. Then there's the merchandise, which was a lot more impressive when I was younger. Because Otakon has a merch room that's the size of a fucking aircraft hangar. And
Right.
and it's the first year I went there, I legitimately got lost for an hour and just was exploring this wonderland of anime crap.
I have returned. I left the call. I left and
Welcome
now
back,
I came
bloody
back.
dead man. It's good to
Even
have you
more
back.
AIDS.
Oh no, bloody dead man's gonna bloody kill us.
I left
I think
to increase my AIDS.
That's Babadook's spook.
Even more AIDS. This is just
can't
me.
tell
This
who
is
it
just
is.
my voice now. I'm not a character.
He's been
This is
changed
not a
by this
wacky
underwater
character.
lifestyle.
I'm just a broken man.
Bloody Dead Man has a British accent.
That's true.
Bloody Dead Man is the father of Undertaler.
Dad, I
That's
got
true.
barflies in my eye sockets again.
Son, I thought I told you that I'd disown you. You're not my family anymore.
son killed that bitch.
No, you are a
he's not my
disgrace.
dad.
You are a disgrace to the dead.
Like gay.
You're a disgrace to the
Such
dead
lore.
man family name because you're weird in just slightly a different way than me. You're just slightly.
It makes total sense. Like the bloody dead man disowned his son because he liked Undertale too much, and now Sans is his surrogate father.
Yes, he's perverted in
God.
just slightly the wrong way, and I don't want him anymore.
And I never had a father figure. That's why I want to suck your weirdness with my own fathers.
Listen, you little ingrate, I've tried to suck many a lemon pipe in my day, and when I do it, I bite 'em because I'm kind of a vampire, maybe, or something. I don't know.
Dad, it's not my fault the botflies choose me. They chose me. I didn't choose the botfly lifestyle.
Listen, the last botfly that I was in a committed relationship with was your mother, and she was a vampire botfly.
Oh my God, his mother was a botfly. That explains everything.
You think botflies
This is
are
canon, by
bad?
the way.
These vampire botflies, they get inside your lemon pipe and they turn it into a Kool-Aid pipe. They turn you into a bloody dead man. They turn you into a fucking ruddy, leaky, bloody dead man cock is what I've got. I'm a goddamn dead boy.
Has anyone else
Fuck you,
ever thought-
son.
No, Dad, you're gay. You just stop.
Some have
Stop
called
being
me that.
gay.
Many
damn
have
it.
called me that in my 5,000 years on this earth, gay. But it's only one of the many things I am. Bitch.
I'm on the quest to save Sans. Sans told me to kill all the gay people, and now I'll have to kill you. That's what I've talked to you. I haven't talked to you in 16 years, but now I will finish the fight. I will
16
fuel the fight.
years is but a blink of an eye to me. I've been around since before the dawn of time. I only went out to the store to get a pack of cigarettes. I was going to come back one of these centuries, I swear.
Lend me strength so I can kill my bitch dad.
There's no such thing as Sans,
No.
and I hate my son. Fuck you.
You get gay.
Oh no, they left. Where'd they go? Oh, they're gone. Oh, what lore, what adventures we have here on the Procrastinators podcast.
You know what? We could. The amount of characters that we have in the PCP, we could all cosplay them and go to a convention.
Oh my,
Oh my
god.
god.
all these
I mean,
characters.
there's even, yeah.
Oh, if
yeah.
There's
I'm
plenty to choose
gonna
from.
cosplay the Undertaler, my son.
You should.
Oh my! Does that mean I'm the bloody dead man?
Oh shit!
Yes.
I'm like the young years. You know, like the once learned that like the Lorax movie. I'm like that version of the bloody dead man. Like the young,
yeah, that
like
makes sense.
twink
That makes
version.
sense.
Yeah, Munchie the twink. Munchie the fucking 6'1", 230-pound twink.
Well, compared to the bloody dead man, who is like the opposite of a twink, like the
Yeah,
polar
yeah.
opposite.
That makes sense.
What are we talking?
I'm
What's the pod? Oh! This is the PCP lore podcast, right? Where
No,
we talking about the
Bloody Dead
Undertaler
Man
at length.
Lorecast. Hey, here's a thing that I wanted to mention. One thing that I like about convention, or rather, okay, so now I don't care about this at all, but when I was young, this was something that I was very interested in. So I talked before about how Yoshitaka Amano was going to a convention. That was cool. But before that, when I was even younger, I got excited because I still cared about voice actors.
Yeah.
And I used
I was
to
gonna
go.
get to that. That's my number 3.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here, take it away. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I'll just finish my number 2 point first.
Yeah, okay.
About the merch. Because the merch was such an ocean of possibilities when I was young. And then I realized by like the second or third year that they all sell the same shit. Every
Yep.
fucking booth is the same shit, and it's only like the most popular shows that have any merch. And they never have anything I want. So I'll wander around for like hours in this fucking endless sea of merch and walk away with one thing that was
Hey,
like.
you know what the thing is? A con is inversely proportional, as in the more what you will get out of going to a con is inversely proportional to how much you already know about like anime culture.
That's
and
true.
The more you learn, the less you get out of it.
I
That's just
absolutely
with terms of
agree with that. Because another part of the appeal when we talk about panels is that you learn a lot. Like, for me in the early days, one of the coolest things about conventions was I would go to a panel about something I'd never heard of and then learn like all this interesting, amazing shit about it. And now I know everything. Like, there has not been a panel in the last few years. The ones I started going to, instead of going to like ones about anime, now I go to all the like weird Japanese culture, like a panel about noodles or something, just so I can have something new that I don't know about. Because any anime panel,
you've reached weeb bedrock at this point, and it's just
there are
which
so
is directly diagonal to bedroom bedrock.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually the same place. But there's been like a ton of panels that I go to, and not only do I feel like I could give the panel, but I feel like I could give it better, like half the time.
Oh shit! He's calling you out, panel holders.
And I mean, I've run panels before
in the universe.
That's right.
But yeah. So with the shit, like this past Otakon, I literally went there with the intention of sparing no expense. I was like, I'm going to spend as much money as I can, and I will buy anything that interests me. And I still, there was nothing. Like, I came away with like a few posters, and that was about it. So yeah, that aspect is kind of dead to me now. And then again with the panels, there's too much stuff I already know. And it used to be that one of the coolest things is you can meet Japanese guests. Because
wait. Before we get into that, just about that topic, I wanted to share one just small anecdote about this whole things you can learn when you go to convention. I have to admit, my first visit to a convention was definitely, I want to say almost definitely worth going, because I remember this was when I had gotten into One Piece in a big way off of the 4Kids dub. And so I was there in my full Luffy costume with my big captain's coat that I still wear. My Gurren Lagann one is, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but the Gurren Lagann coat I wear is just my One Piece coat I made way back in the day, just with the Gurren Lagann thing sewn onto the back. There's some lore for you. But when I was there, I happened upon another cosplayer, a Zoro cosplayer, and this exchange would come to define my life for decades to come. Because what he said to me, he walked up to me, or we were taking a picture, and like he got into it with us or something, because it was me, Ben, and like a friend. We were all cosplaying One Piece. This guy joined as a Zoro. And so he,
what was Ben?
after we took the picture,
Sanji.
Ben was Sanji. He's a big Sanji fan, or at least was. But so this guy, like, I had watched the whole show up to that point that was aired, and I thought it was great. And this guy just looks at me and he's like, "Hey, dude, nice costume." I'm like, "Yeah, you too." Of course, at this time I was young and timid and was just like, "Yeah, thanks." And he just said, "So like, what's your favorite part?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I liked when they fought like Captain Kuro or like something like that." And he just says, "Yeah, that's pretty cool. How'd you like Skypiea?" And Skypiea had not been aired. And was still in manga form at this point. Yeah, like basically what happened here was that he introduced the concept of manga to me, and I had no idea that One Piece was even based on a manga, or that I was behind, and the deep shame that blossomed in me at that moment of not knowing. I thought I knew everything there was to know at this point, and then I learned there was a whole universe beyond my reach, and on that day I vowed to never allow someone else to have more knowledge of something I liked than me.
What I would give to have been that man.
Yeah. he man.
Because I found out about One Piece through the manga before the anime even debuted in America. I'm a true fucking patrician, bitch.
Yes, you are.
Anyway,
me.
Yeah.
I'll never forget you, Zoro cosplayer. You're a legend. Like, wherever you are out there, buddy.
If you're unless you're gonna like talk with like number 3 or number 4, I don't know what you're gonna say, Digi, but
yeah, I'm gonna go into number 3. Unless you want to continue whatever you're about to say.
I was gonna sort of change gears, but I'll do it after.
Let's finish his examples, then we'll change gears.
Well, so to broach the subject of number 3, I just want to talk about that first con I went to, the first Otakon, and why it was so magical that day. Because it happened, the first day of the con was on my birthday. I was turning, I think, 17. And you know, it was everything about it was the craziest shit I'd ever seen. There's more people than I'd ever seen in one place. I'd never seen cosplay, you know, so that was magical, and now it means nothing to me. I've seen every cosplay. The only thing I get out of cosplay now is seeing what is the most popular show to cosplay that year is always interesting. Like, you know, recently it was like Tokyo Ghoul is like the big one. Anyway, I'm seeing all this fucking cosplay, all this stuff, everything, all these people. But the thing that truly made this this con experience was that they were having a concert with Jam Project, whom all of you have probably heard at least one Jam Project song. They did the One Punch Man opening most famously recently.
Is that really what they're most famous for? Okay, well, recently.
Well, yeah, that's... Everyone knows the One Punch Man opening, so I can easily give that as an example. And you know, members of it did the One Piece opening and the Dragon Ball Z opening, so you know they performed those at this show. But the Japanese ones, of course, not the fucking Yayo. But Jam Project is a 5-person. It's like 5 singers who are all famous for anime music, and they have a super group, and they mostly do like robot shows. But anyways, they were doing a show on my birthday at Otakon, you know, and I went to this show, and they fucking, you know, they sing all these incredible songs, and for their encore, they sang the OP to The Soul Taker, which is my favorite anime opening of all time. That I'd sang, like, the opening lines of The Soul Taker is this woman singing, like, Kizutsuita hibi no mukoni, and it's like this, like, epic rise up, and me and my brother would, like, sing that when we were, like, unboxing it's like a new piece of equipment or something, like, you know, real autism shit. So they played that song. It was the greatest thing I'd ever seen in my life, you know. Cool band, my favorite anime OP on my birthday at this convention. Everything was magical. I spent all this money, and I saw all these Japanese guests, you know. I met, like, well, I didn't go to any meet and greets. I didn't actually do that till this past year. But, like, you know, I got to see these people talk about the anime industry, and I learned all this stuff. And over time, all of that, like, has gotten lesser. There's, like, you know, Otakon has fewer and fewer Japanese guests because they all go to Anime Expo now because Anime Expo is way bigger. You know, there hasn't been these magical panels where I learn things. There hasn't been these epic encounters. There hasn't been, you know, a beautiful moment on my birthday. It's like every year I get more jaded and more cynical and more like, why am I even going to this anymore? And like last year was the last year they were doing it in Baltimore. They're moving it to DC. I wasn't gonna go to Otakon this year, but now they've announced they're actually bringing back Jam Project, so now I totally want to go. But
man, that's great.
Yeah, but like it was definitely like this downward spiral, and now I want to go to Anime Expo to see if it can reignite the spark, because it's now like twice the size Otakon ever was, and has all these great Japanese guests and shit. And I could hang out with Munchie, though we'll probably just split up and go our separate ways because he won't know anything I want to go to.
I mean, I hate anime, so no matter what I do, I wouldn't be happy, like, actually paying attention to it. So I might as well just make myself, like, miserable, because it'll be funny.
Oh, and I hinted earlier there was a 4th reason to go to conventions that only applies to me and us, which is to run panels, to be a part of the convention. Whole different world.
It's a whole different thing.
It's like a whole different flip side of the coin where it's really about this epic moment of showmanship, because it's one thing to, like, you know, run a YouTube show and you could see, oh, I have 250,000 subscribers, I have comments and stuff like that. But when you actually see like 1,000 people sitting in front of you, listening to you, laughing at your stupid jokes, then it's like, that's when you really realize, like, I am a wizard god, like I control people, you know.
I wasn't. I don't know whether I liked it when I was up there with the BronyCon stuff. I mean, for one thing, I embarrassed myself by swearing too much when I shouldn't have.
That was hilarious.
It's fine.
I guess it was funny, but I felt like, oh no, I'm doing wrong things.
Hey, at least you weren't the one who, when we did the concert where we...
For anyone who fucking punched Celestia in the goddamn face, you fucking drunk.
That was also like...
Well, no, I wasn't even gonna bring up that. I don't think I actually like hit her.
Dude,
like...
you were close to her face, dude. You were real
she was
close.
Running.
Yeah. It's my birthday, bitch.
It's my birthday, bitch.
if you watch the footage that Hippo has of Otakon, you'll see that they were having a big concert, and we, for whatever reason, were like the DJs who went up in between songs or in between sets and announced it. And I believe that the very first thing I did was like to run on stage and be like, "What the fuck's up, BronyCon?" And like
that's right.
the lady running it was immediately like, "I've made a huge mistake," because I was.
And yet she kept us going for the whole 2 hours or whatever the fuck it was.
Well, they eventually took the mic away from me. They wouldn't let me. Everyone else went on and did like the DJ thing, and I went up there with a roll of toilet paper and was just throwing it in the background. Just.
You
like
were
going
so
in.
fucking
She gave
drunk.
me the mic
It
and was
fun.
like, "You're the responsible one. Hold on to this mic and make sure they don't do anything crazy."
From my perspective, it was terrible at the time because I wasn't drunk and I was like, oh no, everyone's having a good time and I'm just sitting here being gay. But watching the footage, it was great. You know, even though when I went up on stage, I didn't know what to do. I was just standing in the middle of the stage for like 5 seconds and not really doing anything. I didn't have a mic. I didn't know what to do. So I was just like, here I am.
I'm definitely
part
a
of this
little
group.
embarrassed.
I'm pretty sure I
thinking
had
back
the
and
most
looking at
fun
the
I've
footage.
ever had in my life at that that concert.
I
mean,
hated
looking
it.
back on it, like, remember when there was that one part where, like, everyone backstage, like, all went out and started dancing all together.
Yeah.
And we were all fucking going nuts. It was crazy. And I don't know, that was awesome. I definitely was embarrassing myself, and looking at it now, actually not now, but when I first watched it back, I was like, oh god, I will never be okay with this. But at this point now, I'm totally comfortable with it, and it just is just amusing to me.
Digi, the image of you being completely like drunk, like not even be able to like recognize your surroundings, being sang to by Nicole Oliver, "You Are My Sunshine," just staring at like nothing.
It was the weirdest fucking thing because no one warned me, no one gave me stage directions or told me what was going on. I just all of a sudden have like a I don't know if she's a famous voice actress per se, but
for
this
Brony she is.
In the context of this convention, essentially a literal goddess. You know,
that's true.
Putting her, and I remember having this moment where I felt really bad because of the fact that I didn't care about My Little Pony anymore. Like, like I felt it was like if this had happened 2 years prior, I would be like crying. You know, like this would be so meaningful to me. And instead, I'm up here obliterated, shit-faced with like I don't care about anyone in this place at all. I have I'm out here because it's fun for me to be a drunken idiot, not because I actually care about this crowd. And like their goddess is singing to me for my birthday, and I was just like, "This is wrong." I am a bad man.
Your god to me is just another slut, and it's my birthday, bitch.
What's that? What is that clip? I said that somewhere, right?
I don't know.
It's when we're all walking to the thing, and Victor, or maybe I was holding. No, it was Victor holding the camera, watching you be drunk and punching Nate and stuff, and then Victor comments that, "Oh, I wish I was as drunk as you." It's like, it's my birthday, bitch, and I just
remember
splice
that walk.
onto the part where you almost hit her.
That's right.
When you were pretending to fight Jesse.
That was one of the
almost
funniest
hit her and
edits
she ran
I've
away.
ever seen in my life. That's
Yeah, it
the
was
funniest.
The best part about that was her fucking face. Like I just sang
got
to this
spooked.
person. I just sang like "You Are My Sunshine" to this person, and now they're like fighting on stage.
Yeah, you changed her whole view of the human race and what to expect when like good things
I
are
got
always
the impression
punished,
when I watched that footage. I got the impression that she realized what was like that she she was scared to try to get out of the way, but she realized that this was a drunken, insane party, and that these are.
I actually remember seeing her backstage, just thinking, "Oh, what's going on up there?" It's like, is someone getting a birthday? Like I was backstage looking at her. I was like, is that who? I don't know who that is, but I think it's someone.
I mean,
she went and did that. It was just so weird.
Let's be real. The brony community, there's a lot of infantilization in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the idea of the character Princess Celestia singing to you is like, oh, you're my child, you're all my children kind of thing. It's like, but in that moment, I think she remembered, oh yeah, this is like a drunken 23-year-old man.
When you started swinging, yes, I think she
This
remembered.
this is a grown, bearded, fat, dangerous man who
Fat and dangerous.
That should be the name of your biography, Fat and Dangerous.
No,
Yes.
Gayer Than God is the name of my biography.
Okay, all right, fine.
But
That
Fat
whole-
and
that
Dangerous
whole-
will be the sequel.
It goes dead and gay,
postmortem.
and then
Dead
fat
and
and
gay,
dangerous,
right.
and then gayer
Yeah.
than God.
Dead and Gay will be the finale.
I think I was already planning to make a Gayer Than God song for the Gay and Dead album, but I think I'll also make Fat and Dangerous a song. It'll be like a big fat like fucking Atlanta style heavy beat like Killer Mike song. It's gonna be awesome.
One of the samples is "It's my birthday, bitch."
Yeah.
Oh, that should definitely be one of them. That should definitely be one. Oh my god.
Yes.
So okay, so I
Okay,
think it's
well-
fair to say that if you're on the side of of making or being the one up on stage doing things at cons, that changes the game and is pretty
Yeah.
fun most of the
It's
time.
pretty fun if you're used to it. I was so overwhelmed, like in the panel and on the thing, that I kind of hated it at the end. I
Well,
was
like that was only your second convention though, so you were probably still acclimating in general, and then going up on stage is just another big change,
Yeah.
So
also the
I think-
fact
I
that we
think
had that
personally you should
group
give it some more
shit, like
tracks.
we all had, what is it, Wendy's or something?
the group
We were all
shit,
thinking
yeah.
of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I kind of
Literally-
needed to shit through that whole panel.
I forgot about the group shit. Oh my god! Wait,
Literally
can you explain
all
that
of
in a little
us,
more detail?
Yeah, we ate Wendy's on our way to the convention, and we were like fucking late. Like we
Yeah, we
almost
were.
missed our own panel, which had all of us on
Yeah.
it, because we woke up late, and then we went to Wendy's, and they took forever, and we ate, and it was like totally all of us felt shit. And so the second we got to the convention, we went to the bathrooms right by right by where the panel was going to be, and we all simultaneously took a shit. It was
I forgot
the
about
great
the group shit. Oh my god, yes, that was the best thing that ever happened.
You guys
I
are
was
just,
so
you're just
conscious
proving
of
my
that
point.
fact. That
Yeah.
I didn't want to poop my pants on stage as well as
Right.
was getting nervous for everything else.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Munchie?
that by that
Yeah.
point, by this BronyCon, I went to 3 of them, and by that one, literally the only reason any of us was there was to hang out with one another.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is,
same
which is
for
why
me, yeah.
RadCon happened, because it was after. After going to BronyCon, it's we're really here to hang out with each other and to try to get laid.
I think
Yep.
the main reason we went to BronyCon that year that I was there is because I hadn't been to one yet and I wanted to go to
Oh, yeah,
one
that was a
before-
big thing.
Before
That
it
was a
was
big thing.
totally over.
Yeah, and while you were still someone with clout in the community who could
And
enjoy
to meet
being famous.
KP. KP was the top billing guest. I really wanted to see her.
Oh yeah, dog. Oh yeah.
That was the coolest
That's what
moment
conventions
ever.
are. They're just locations for play dates. And
Yeah.
that's why they're incredible. They are incredible play date material. They're like theme parks,
Makes
but
sense.
with
But wouldn't you
gay
say,
people.
Munchie, that it was even better at RadCon than BronyCon?
I would say it was better. However, I don't like just
There's
the
a few
fact that it
things-
was better doesn't mean that I wouldn't
Well, sure.
also cherish going to a convention. It's not. I'm not saying that hanging out with your friends is inherently like better or worse with the convention, but I do think it's an interesting location, and it breeds a lot of discussion, and it's easy to ridicule people, and therefore very funny.
Yeah, it is a definite different, because in Digi's house, some people have rooms that they go to when they're not doing something with the rest of us, and so in a convention, you're always having to do something, either just sitting around talking or going to a panel or just eating. It's just everyone's
Panels
doing
are
something at the
awful.
same time.
Panels are the fucking
panels are
worst
terrible,
thing.
but what I mean is everyone's doing something at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
It's a different sort of feeling than just being in a house together.
yeah.
Because people wake up at different times, and sleeping arrangements are kind of rough.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
For sure.
It's the thing about conventions, and the reason that I wanted, aside from the fact that I just wanted to hang out with you guys and make stuff, the other thing I don't like about conventions is, it's hard enough living in one house with everybody. It's even worse when you're all in one room, and it's
Yeah.
for me, I have terrible insomnia, and I also can't stand silence. So I'm used to going to bed, playing music, having a certain way, jacking off. You can't jack off when you're all in the same hotel room. Big
That's
problem.
what you think, amateur.
Well, you can take a long shower, but It's harder to
That's
get.
the way.
We'll say it's hard to get away with jacking off when you're all sharing a room. But you know, for me, every convention I've ever been to, by 4 a.m, I'm gonna be stepping over everybody to get out of the room, and then just wandering the hotel for like hours, and then I'll probably sleep for 30 minutes, and then go to the con. You know, and be like miserable and sick all day. So you know, that's all. Like as many like there's all the cons are worth having gone to. Like, it's worth it to be able to tell these great stories and to be able to have all these fond memories. But the actual experience of living it is often hellish because it's always no sleep, very difficult to remain, to keep up your hygiene at all, you know, which is actually a problem when you're in Baltimore in the summer and it's fucking 95 degrees and you're walking all day, you know? So, like, usually by the end of a convention, I am physically broken. Like, my voice doesn't work anymore. I can't see. I'm, like, sleeping. I usually sleep for, like, almost a whole 24 hours the day after a con. So, yeah, it, like, there's a lot of nightmarish elements that make it, that are, like, why I wouldn't just, like, even if Otakon wasn't that great, you know, it would still be worth going to, right? Because why not? It's something to do for a weekend. Except that it's something that involves like a 4-hour car drive, which isn't that bad. But then they're sharing a hotel with a bunch of other people, not getting any sleep, physically exhausting yourself, you know, and then the existential ennui of realizing that you've put yourself through all of this and for what, you know? That's what gets me the most. I always end up, like, by Sunday, I feel like I hate the world at most conventions. So, yeah, it's fun
I
to
feel like
have
that
been.
at the end of RadCon.
Well,
that I was physically broken.
I felt like that through
like
all of
10 days
RadCon 2. But RadCon 2 was for totally different reasons that I felt that way.
I understand what you mean, and I appreciate it. However, I think it's wrong, and I think you're gay.
Hold on. One way to put it is that RadCon 2 was like if we went to a convention and we ran every panel. That's that's how I describe RadCon 2.
I mean, it is exhausting. However, like I don't feel pain in the sense that like
you don't feel pain at all.
Pain is like really funny to me, and like whenever I get hit by it, I just think dude, it's sick. and like I
sometimes literally.
Here is a this is like a part of my life that you need to understand to get me. And I will title this chapter of my life. Seinfeld was like a mind break doujin for real life. I'm always thinking about my life as if I was a character on Seinfeld, and so every bad thing that humanly happens to me, I just think that's really fucking funny. That's sick. That's fucking.
It's amazing
sick,
because
bro.
Victor does the exact same thing, but with Curb Your Enthusiasm as opposed to Seinfeld.
You know, that's the ironic age we're living in now, where our own suffering is merely an amusing fact of you know.
I think again, it's easy for me to see it that way in retrospect, but in the moment, it's just like
I do it in the moment.
Yeah.
Munchie's just got a faster processor for this shit.
Because I got mind break doujined.
I wanted to talk about this for a while. You've been talking about anime cons and BronyCon. I don't know whether any of you have gone to like a video game convention, like just for video games.
No, I haven't.
I have not.
I never thought I would say this, but I kind of wish Jeff was here because he has gone through all of those.
You know,
and we could talk about that because like
he's been saying for years though that he wants us to go to
MagFest.
I kind of would like to go like to MagFest or PAX or something because like from what I've learned from watching like YouTube content people who are video game-ish like Total Biscuit and JonTron and whatever Game Grumps, it's a different sort of feeling because it's not like I don't know. I feel like I would have more fun at one of those, perhaps, but maybe not.
I'm skeptical that there's much difference, really.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I haven't been to a game-specific one. But.
As someone who's been to, like, a shitload of Otakons, like, there is a huge contingent of gaming there. Like, Otakon is really an everything convention. It's not really about anime per se. If you go there as just a gamer, there's a huge arcade room. There's people who just hang out in there and play Street Fighter the whole convention. You know, they have gaming tournaments. tournaments. Even BronyCon had like Smash tournaments and shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
I
sounds like
remember there was a
Anime
guy
Boston
who was
had
like
that too.
wider than he was tall playing Smash. That's all I remember from that.
And
Victor was in there, just sort of.
yeah, I think Victor
hanging out.
competed in that actually, and yeah,
I put
so
my
there-
name in, but I flaked.
there's a pretty big arcade room. I never have the patience to like wait to be able to play one of the games.
Yeah.
The only time I was excited enough about a video game they had, because they don't have like a lot of really cool, interesting arcade cabinets at Otakon, unfortunately. And I would like to go to a gaming convention if they had like a legit arcade, like if they had games that I really had heard of and spoken in soft whispers and always wanted to see. The only time I got really excited was when they had Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, which had not come out yet in the US, which is the game where you fight light novel characters and you get to beat up Kirito and shit. Except that there was this fucking guy at the, they had two cabinets, so everyone was fighting each other. And there was this dude there who was playing Kirito and had obviously played the game. Like, he must have had the Japanese version on Vita and was just destroying everyone, but he would never move. Like, he was just like taking each new challenger and kicking their asses, and everyone was dead silent because like the atmosphere this guy gave off was like a total douchebag asshole who was like here to beat people, to prove that he's so good at this game that none of us have ever played because it's not out in
Dengeki Bunko
America
specifically.
Yeah, just at this
Okay,
booth.
okay.
And so there's probably like 6 people, and we're each like moving through the line, and each person will like get up, fight him, lose, and then just silently walk away, and the next person goes up.
Why didn't anyone make this
and-
guy fucking move?
Just because, you lose the match and you walk away, and it was new people coming up, like nobody was like hanging out around the machine. It was just like people were,
all right, that's fine, I
lining up
guess.
to play and realizing this guy. But I was there long enough to see that he had, beaten down all these people, and of course I tried and I got my ass kicked because he knew the auto combo. He wasn't even like great at the game. It's just he had played the fucking thing, and I was so mad at that guy. I literally wanted him dead. I was like, I will train at this game for the rest of my life just so I could beat this guy and rub it in his face,
I'd like to see your Oreimo against his. I assume he was a Kirito player. I just
he
assumed
was
that.
playing Kirito.
How did I know? How did I know?
I said it, but
well, that's how I knew. That's how I knew.
but I was at the time I had tried playing Shauna because Shauna was gonna be my main. I wanted her to be like the one I would play in the game, but I ended up being good with Kirino. Anyways, so I haven't hung out in the gaming room much, but I do kind of want to go to MagFest, not so much for the gaming, but because it's specifically a gaming and music convention. Like it's more about like nerdcore bands and shit playing. I'm sure Tupperware Remix Party's
Proto Men
probably played
play
there.
there?
Proto Men
Oh yeah,
plays there.
they have, and I want to see them there one time.
Yeah.
I just got back. I didn't do whatever about it.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't have been like unwilling to go to MagFest, but Jeff wanted us to go to that and RadCon, and I was like, we can't. RadCon's an event for making things, and there's like a schedule for it, and we cannot afford to go to that and MagFest.
I kind of would like to go at some point with Jeff and all that.
I would as
as
well.
a big old Procrastinators MagFest group.
Yeah, it would be fun.
That could be cool.
It's just affording it.
Maybe
That's the problem.
he could be the guy to introduce us to, I don't know, fucking
Everybody.
president or whatever
Super
he does.
Bunny Hop.
I hate
Yeah.
all of those.
I don't dislike them. I'd be happy to just see. Oh yeah, I met.
I mean, it's just
I met
that
that
it's
guy.
just not my crowd right now, I mean, maybe it could be,
I mean,
but
I'd
I
like-
just didn't know anything about it.
I'd
so.
certainly like to meet Buddy Hop. He's cool.
I
But
want to
anyway,
meet him.
yeah, but oh yeah, so I do agree though that gaming conventions seem different going by because there's a lot more gaming. Like there's more hands-on and like,
Gaming!
Gaming!
There it is.
it's more of like you're going there more to do something as opposed like with an anime convention. If you go to all these panels that are like the informative ones, again, like if you already know the stuff, it's completely useless. Like you might get to meet some cool industry people, but at a video game convention, there's often actually a game there that you could not play elsewhere. That's interesting. That's probably what I'd want to go for the most. But I doubt they're that different from anime cons.
I'm ready to make a sweeping proclamation about the function of conventions and what they should be used for and what purpose they serve.
Evil.
Conventions are something that children should go to.
Yeah,
they
I
are
agree.
they are best for young adults, like 12, 13, that sort of range.
Hi.
And they're just you're gonna get less out of them as you get older. And I'll tell you why. And if you go with friends and you just tool around, then that you can go at any age. That'll be fine. But the usefulness of the actual thing is best for the young, and I'll tell you why. It's because, I mean, there's this thing I said before of just the more you know about the subject matter, the less you get out of it, and that really applies in a lot of ways. Like when I was young, one of the first panels I went to at some convention, and this blew my mind. This is like one of the first sort of analytical lectures I ever heard about anime, or in this case, a video game. It was a lecture that some dude was giving on how like Tidus from Final Fantasy X represented the human ideal of the Ubermensch, and like his role in Final Fantasy X was like a representation of like the ideal man in a fantasy world, or so, like some bullshit like that. Yeah. But I had never heard any talk like that before, which is now a format that's kind of, people talk about that shit on YouTube now.
Yeah.
But at the time, I had never heard anything like that. But other than that, there's that little bit of information you can gain, but then there's the distinct like magical moment factor. Like when me and Ben were young, and I think this was even more important for Ben, or more enjoyable for Ben than it was for me. When we were young at Anime Boston, The Pillows played, and it was one of the most awesome things we'd ever seen in our lives. And in addition to just hearing all the songs and being completely blown away, and the place just going insane and just loving every second of it, there was also this moment where up on the rafters, we were down on the ground floor watching them play, but up in the rafters, there was a couple of people standing and watching the band from up above. There was a Mamimi cosplayer just dancing by herself, and just watching her dance while listening to fucking Crazy Sunshine and all the shit from the show. What's that one? I Think I Can, all that shit.
Yeah.
Watching her dance by herself was just such a magical moment, and I'll always regret not going up and joining her. That's stuck with me my whole life in my relationship with women.
I mean, I would still lose my shit for a Pillows concert, but I can't even imagine like me at 17, at the same age I saw Jam Project. If I had heard fucking Hybrid Rainbow live when I was 17, I would have cried a river. I would have been losing my fucking mind to that. So yeah, I could definitely appreciate what you're saying there.
So that was great, but then also at the time I still gave a shit about voice actors, and I don't think I'd really care about these things as much now. Yeah. But there were two incidents that are very memorable to me. One was when I met Steve Blum. He was doing something. I think this was the Gurren Lagann thing. He was signing autographs, I think, for his role as Liron. And I went up to him and said hi and shook his hand, and I told him, and I'll never forget this, I said, "Hey, dude, I know that you get this all the time, but I just loved you as Spike." And I was like, I know he's doing some other character, but that's what I remember you for. I'm sure he's going to hate me for it. And he's just like, "Dude, it never gets old. I love it every time." And he smiled at me, and I went on my way, and I just felt so great about my life.
I think
there was incredible.
I might hate Dubs more than anybody in the world, but I could still probably mark out for Steve Blum. Like, he's a fucking legend. He's
a legend.
Been in everything.
For sure. And then there was this other moment. This is my last thing I even have to say. When I was at some, like, FMA had gotten really big, and I was at a convention. I think this was Anime Boston, and it was a panel, like the voice actors or something. And I didn't give a shit about anyone except Vic Mignogna was there. And he was cool.
Tell me you
it's
kicked
the
his
Vic
ass.
Mignogna story. I know. And this is classic Vic Mignogna, like just being weirdly obsessed with the character of Ed. But he did this thing. He's like, "Hey guys," he was like taking questions or whatever, and somebody asked him to like do a line from the show. I mean, of course. Right. And so he's like, "Okay, all right, guys, but I've gotten good at this. So we're all going to go through an exercise because this is the best way for you to experience this. I don't want you to see me. God, this tells me so much about him as a man right now. But he's like, okay, I don't want you to see me as like this old, like 30-something, slightly balding, old
that
fucking
motherfucker is
weirdo
50
man up
now,
here."
so he was probably in his 40s.
Yeah, okay, maybe he even said 30s and was lying. I don't know. I can't remember. But that'd be hilarious if that was true. But he said, like, "I don't want you to see me as this old man. Everyone, close your eyes and just listen to my voice." And he did, like, I think he did the monologue from after the Barry the Butcher fight. You know what I'm talking about? Where he's, like, crying about, like, he realized how vulnerable he is,
yeah,
how
so,
much he
like,
cares about Al.
That's the scene that made his whole career.
It's the Oscar bait scene from FMA.
It's
That's
the reason
one.
that he won every fucking voice actor award for dubbing ever, and that's why he's so fucking famous. It's for that one scene, pretty much.
He did it, and at the time, I was definitely an FMA fan, and he did it with such passion and just clearly loved doing what he did so much and loved the character so much, regardless of the reasons why. Yeah, that was just a great experience. That really made me get into anime in a big way.
Fucking sick.
From that.
If this was like
was
2006,
great, bro.
I probably would have felt exactly the same. I loved that performance when I was young.
He killed it on that one.
Now I hate it.
And that's it.
I did
And
get to
that's the end of my case for how these things, I think, like now, like you were saying, I don't think these would really make as much of an impact on me because I've had all these experiences. But when I was a kid, first getting into the stuff, not knowing much, to see the world that's out there and the passion these people are putting in, I can see why, like, I get this stuff and I understand why it's valuable, seeing this stuff and seeing the things people can do with it, and like why my parents just don't. They haven't had any of these experiences. They don't get shit about this. They just think it's goofy cartoons.
You know, just 2 or 3 years ago at Otakon, I also met Ed's voice actor, but the real one, Takuromi, the Japanese voice actress, who's one of my favorite voice actresses, and she was so fucking... She was the... You know... Sometimes you see someone. There's certain celebrities that I have that waifu or idol like crush on.
Yep.
She's one of those. She's just so perfect and hilarious and adorable, and I absolutely love her. And I would sacrifice my life for her. No, she was great.
Rad.
Yeah, I want to throw in a bit. I'll probably have more to say about this possibly in the future if I take up any of these, because I've run a few panels at conventions. The first one I did was at NecoCon, which is why I went to NecoCon that year, because me and this guy named who?
Oh, sorry, I just said that makes sense as to why you went to this one.
Yeah. It was like 2010, I think, and it was me and this guy named Pats, who is another anime blogger, and we ran a panel called "Released and Relinquished." Shows that had been licensed and dubbed in English, but no one paid attention to them.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
yeah, it was just like it was just a recommendation panel, which that's another thing that like at the time kind of made sense, but now it's like, why would you ever want recommendations? The internet has entire websites dedicated to anime recommendations. You don't need a panel. Not that it wouldn't still be a successful panel, but
the internet's definitely made these things even more obsolete, obviously. You know?
But it was a pretty good turnout for it, and then of course I've done 3 panels at BronyCon, one with Tom, one with with you guys, and then another one with just the PCP members.
Good time.
I think that was actually called the Horseshoe Crew or something that time.
It was.
It was called the Horsecast Live, dog.
Do you guys remember my ancient Lumerian questions?
I remember.
I
can't remember.
No, I've blocked them out.
Smurfs 2, right?
No. Something far more sinister.
He had like a long question about ancient Lumerians at the Horsecast.
I basically just relayed to you the history of spirit science at a horseshoe panel that went on for easily 7 minutes, and by the
There's
end,
no way it was 7 minutes long. I don't believe you.
And no, the entire crowd hated me. They're like, is he reading this
I'm
off his phone? Why is it taking so long? And I just kept going on and on about how like the ancient Lumerians
We should have
are like
escorted you from the
behind
fucking building, Munchie, like the animal you are.
are fucking behind all My Little Pony, and how Twilight Sparkle is like an agent of the fucking devil. And it was great. And I remember I think it was you specifically, Nate. You said something along the lines of, "I don't know, I don't care. Stop."
Good. Oh, thank God that one of us is man enough to do something about it. All right.
I remember wanting to kill you.
It was so fucking good. I loved it.
There is a video of that panel on my channel. I haven't looked at it in a long time, so I can't remember anything.
I stuttered a lot. If I had given that one today, I would have been a lot more confident in my assertion of Lumerian politics.
Would there have been more niggers in?
There would be so.
Yeah.
Fucking
Oh yeah.
many.
He's really come into his own with the whole nigger scene recently.
I would say I've never liked panels. I've been to maybe 5 panels
Kind of
in all my like 7 cons I've gone to. They all fucking suck.
I've had some of my a lot of my best con experiences have been panels, like the one Charles Dunbar gave on Kill La Kill that totally changed my opinion of the show. And like I've seen a bunch of.
I wish I could see that panel. I'd like to see that panel.
Yeah, I wish it existed somewhere. He was supposedly writing a book of that panel, and I don't think it ever came out.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Goddamn.
so yeah, I've been to some that like really changed my opinion of shows or just educated me on stuff. Some are just fun and interesting. Like there's this one dude who always does like a Japanese noise panel, like literally about noise music, which is such a weird fucking obscure thing to do at a con. But he was like this really knowledgeable dude, and like being in a room with like 40 other guys and listening to fucking noise music is a surreal and hilarious experience. That I highly recommend.
You know why I fear every panel I go to? It's because, I mentioned this before, I don't trust con-goers to not embarrass themselves, and I am such a wonderful, sensitive human being that when other people humiliate themselves, I feel humiliated.
Well,
so I can't
That's
abide
what cringe is.
Thankfully, I guess so. I've gotten really good at both. I mean, there's certain people who do panels. Like Charles Dunbar, the guy who did that Kill La Kill panel, he goes to like, he gets invited to like 13 cons a year and does like 5 panels per con. So like it's practically a job for him. So for someone like that, like they're gonna put on a good panel. It's good. You know.
I'm not talking about him. I mean when those. Well, I mean that's always a possibility. But I just specifically meant when they get questions from the crowd. Those people.
Well, like the
don't
good
trust
ones,
them.
the good
They're bad.
panels usually don't do that. Like
thank God for
that.
that.
The really good, the people who know what they're doing will probably have a fully stacked 90 minutes. There's a lot of panels that are absolute garbage fire, even at like Otakon, because it'll be people who don't know what they're doing, and they'll get up there and just like either not know their subject or not be prepared, or someone doesn't show up or something breaks. But I'm pretty good at figuring out which ones those are going to be, because like every year at Otakon, one of my friends will tell me like, yeah, we went to that one because it had a hilarious title and it sounded like it would be great, but it turned out they had no idea what they were doing. And I was like, you could tell that by the description, like if it's just a hilarious title, but there's no like indication of who's running the panel, or like like something in the description that catches your eye, it's probably not good.
God, I had something like that at BronyCon. It was like there was this one panel that I went to, and I could have found out that was bad by the description. Like I read the description, and it was something like thoroughly analyzing My Little Pony live, or something fucking awful like that. But I wouldn't anyway.
Didn't see that one coming.
Clap for Munchie! Clap for Munchie! Clap for Munchie!
Press 1 if that was the shittiest joke you ever heard in your entire fucking life.
I actually didn't see it coming.
Really?
But our panels were like awful. I mean, people loved them, but we literally had no plan for any panel.
I tried to put together a plan, but you guys were just like, let's just take questions. Let's just take questions, which frankly was a better idea. So
because the crowd just wants to hear us talk. They don't give a fuck, and we're all funny, and we can just riff off of whatever they say. And I think, for me personally, I think that my sense of humor nowhere shines better than in answering questions at a convention panel. Like that, I think that's when I make videos, they're not funny. On this podcast, I hit or miss, but I think I can actually be funny in that situation.
Whatever I see,
my favorite panel that I've ever like seen in a video setting has always been like Egoraptor's like solo panel where he's just talking about stuff to a crowd. He's standing around with a mic.
He is good at that.
Whoa,
he is good at that.
That was just. It's just such a nice. It made me like the idea of panels and want to be on a panel by myself. Just say, yeah, I'm just chatting with it. I mean, I knew it would be like difficult.
I got to admit,
do.
he handled that panel like a pro.
The way that Egoraptor
runs, one of
runs
my favorite videos of his.
The way that he runs his panels is exactly how I try to do so. Like, with the two that we did as a group, then there was a lot more like spread out.
When as a group, it's kind of difficult. Because everyone wants to say something.
But the one that was just me and Tom, at all the panels, I usually am the one who does the most talking. But the one with me and Tom in particular was like, it was pretty much me and the crowd, and then Tom offering thoughts sometimes about, like when I asked him, Tom, what do you think about this? But it was great fun to do that, and I'd love to do doing solo panels is super fun, and I'd love to do it all the time.
Just imagine how important you feel as the only guy up there, Yeah. I'm interested in it mostly for the power trip. That's what I want. That's what I
The
want.
power
out of
trip's
my-
a lot of
my
fun,
con
and just the
experience.
feeling. Well, because like what I think makes it what makes it fun for me is that it's an opportunity to simultaneously like say to the crowd, you know, hey, you guys are all great, and I really appreciate all of you, while also just ragging on them incessantly. Because that's what I like.
Yeah.
When people ask me a dumb question, I will make them. I'll answer it in such a way that's like, you're dumb, but thankfully you've given me the tools for me to use my genius to make this interesting. You know,
That's the right way to do it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Great. wanna die.
And I've been recently I've been invited to some conventions. There's one in particular in New Jersey, and they want me to come up. It's in like, I don't know, April or May or June. It might be June. Then they're like, they want me to come up, and they said, we want you to do like 2 or 3 panels. And I was like, is anyone else presenting at this convention? But yeah, they're offering to, like, you know, pay for my trip and everything to do that.
It might be worth
and
it,
I'm considering it. I haven't decided yet because I don't know what I'm gonna be doing in June. Like, I might not even live in Virginia by June.
That's true. That's
so-
true. You know what, though? Can I just say on that point, there's one thing I didn't mention that is actually by far the most important thing to me about conventions. And so I would definitely go to that and any other ones that were offered to me because of my dream I've had since I was a very young man. And it's not a lofty dream, but it is a dream I've had consistently for most of my life. And it's to fuck a cosplayer girl at an anime convention. I
Yeah.
will do whatever it takes to make that happen at some point in my life.
If you want to get into fucking stories of fleeting but very deep and real love that
Yeah.
I've had with women at conventions who I did not speak to, my God, like I have
yeah.
a lot of like vivid memories of women
You know
I
what?
immediately
Here's one we
fell
shared.
in love with.
Here's one that we all shared. At least most of us who were in remember our spot at BronyCon.
Yeah.
We all looked down to get collectively. I know Jesse was there, and I think most of the people here were. We looked down, and there was just a Raven from Teen Titans cosplayer sitting there alone with a book open, just reading a book on the side of the open convention hall, but not bothering anybody, just quietly being there, perfectly cosplaying Raven, just being
Yeah.
by herself, reading a fucking book, and we all instantly fell in love with her. All of us together.
in the same way, Nate, that you were like always wondering, oh, I should have gone on Dance with That Girl. I was always like, remember that, and I'm like, I should have just gone up and said, it's really cool that you're reading like that. It's
Why
great.
didn't we? Damn it.
Nothing is cooler to me than method cosplayers. They are truly the best. There's this one dude who one year at the karaoke, there's this guy who was dressed as Kamina, and he had like the perfect build for it. He was like a perfect Kamina cosplayer, and he was like dancing and raving. He sang the Mazinger opening, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And he was like totally down for everyone else's stuff. He was like being this hype guy, right? Then the next year, he shows up as Dr. Frankenstein from Soul Eater. Again, a perfect spot-on cosplay, and he even had the giant. I don't know if you know Frankenstein, but he has like a screw coming out of his head that he twists.
Yeah, he's got the big bolt.
He actually had that and was able to turn it and make clicking sounds when he turned
He put
it.
a hole in his fucking brain
Yeah.
for his cosplay.
And-
God damn.
And
Okay.
additionally, he was insistently sitting in chairs backwards because that's
Of
how
course,
Stein
as he
sits.
does, as
yeah,
he does,
and I was
yeah.
just like, the fucking dedication. Like in this guy's mind, he just is Dr. Stein, and it was
What
so
a legend.
Like because it made me realize that like him acting so hype the year before was because he was Kamina. Like,
Oh my
because
God.
this year he wasn't being hype. He was just like sitting on the chair, being
And that
Stein.
man's name was Dustin Hoffman. What a legend of cosplay.
That's the first
That's
method
the-
actor who came to mind.
That was the first one I could think of. That's right. Also could have gone with Christian Bale or whoever the fuck you want.
Why not the guy from the guy with the mustache from There Will Be
Oh,
Blood?
the guy who killed himself. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger. Yeah, there you go.
And
He
that
didn't
man's
know.
name was
The-
Jon Renkowski, the actor of Jace W. Connors.
Yes, it was him all along, Austin.
That is the whole method acted thing. Like the fact that people can do that is the reason I'm always apprehensive of being a cosplayer, because nobody likes, somebody putting the costume together and it being, yeah, it's pretty good, and then you go up to them and they're just some fucking loser.
Actually, there's an entire giant legion of people who dress up as they dress up really well but don't act the part at all, and it's called fucking women. Every fucking time they can't act for shit. They're just
What about
just
the
there to
Raven
pull
we were
eyes,
just talking
fucking
about?
sluts. What?
What about the Raven
The Raven.
cosplayer we were just talking about? She was
Fucking
completely
slut.
in
I
character.
take it back. I don't respect her or women. No, it's she's a hero. She's a hero. I don't respect sexy cosplay girls outside of wanting to fuck them. And that is what I will use them for throughout my life. So, you know, I appreciate them
all
on
right,
that basis.
How much of... Okay, I feel like I might be the ultimate convention creeper, but it's all on the down low, and it doesn't hurt anybody, so it's okay.
Well, that's fine.
Because, you know, you always hear these stories about women who, like, have guys, like, all over them and stuff, and, like, the predator tactics, and they're always taking... Now, at a convention, everyone takes pictures of cosplayers, and I've always been super-duper shy about, like, asking to take someone's picture. I don't know why. I just feel really... Like, I know that everyone expects it, and yet I feel like I can't do it. And usually I'll just jump in when someone else is taking the picture. But there's particularly been cases where I saw a girl in a cosplay, and I was so in love with her that I felt it would be wrong of me to take a picture because I secretly am doing so because I'm nefariously in love with them. So I won't... I get
What was
even
she
more
dressed as?
afraid.
in love.
But man, I'm running through the like Rolodex of images of like I
What
remember
was that
the
girl's cosplay? I'm just curious.
the very first girl I remember just being absolutely in love with based on their cosplay was the first year at Otakon, because we were in the line going into the building, and this girl just like kind of like fastly walked past, and it was a really small Asian girl in a Boogie Pop costume, and I was at the time, Boogie Pop was my favorite thing in the universe, and no one knew about it or talked about it. Most people didn't even know that Boogie Pop is actually a little girl or a young teenage girl. A small one. So
conventions are a place where you go to fall in love as a young man. It's really true. It's
and
really
as an
true.
old man, every year at
Yes, and as a decrepit,
karaoke,
broken man as well. Yeah.
Every single year at karaoke, some girl will get up and do a performance with so much heart that I'm like, why am I not? I actually do like this with the younger ones when it was just cosplay. That was more of like this fleeting sense of brilliance of like, oh my god, if only. But when it comes to the karaoke, I actually legitimately feel like I'm an idiot for not talking to those girls.
I had this woman tied up in the back of my car driving away right now.
Yeah, if only I was reenacting the Stan music video with this girl right now. But like with for instance last year at Otakon, there was this girl who did like a cosplay performance, and it wasn't that she was like unbelievably cute or anything. She just did a really great karaoke performance, and I was like, I can't imagine a more perfect, like legitimately a more perfect match for me than a girl who does passionate anime karaoke. Like this is literally the kind of person I should be seeking out to date. And of course I didn't say anything, and I regret it.
We're weak men.
Yeah, it's a different kind of regret. There's that hopeless romantic regret of I saw you're beautiful and I saw your face in a crowded place and I don't know what, and he kills himself at the end of the song. That is more like the early cosplay stuff. This is more like, wow, I'm a fucking idiot. Why didn't I talk to this girl?
The feeling, I think that's sort of the digivolved form of this emotion. You know? It's leveled up. To use a term that you people will understand.
I know what you're... This has only happened once to me before, and just as that Zoro, whoever, cosplay changed Nate's life, there's one cosplayer that changed my life and jump-started me into the era of my life I like to refer to as the overly sentimental gay asshole not Seinfeld era.
Okay.
Which I will not go into detail about. Just know that it happened.
Could you tell us what the cosplay was?
No.
Okay.
I have
I think I know.
I've seen a few cool
Digi,
cosplayers, but I've never...
dude, if you talk, I'm gonna actually pee my pants.
Don't do it, Digi. Don't do it.
I won't.
Wait,
Don't do it though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I haven't really had an amazing experience with a cosplayer. I mean, I really like a lot of them, and it's been cool to see that some people are actually really good. But the moment I see a risk of cosplayer, I will not waste a second. I will go up to her and I will say, you're cool or something. Cause
Good.
That'll be my
ultimate pickup
game.
line. You're cool.
You're cool. You are cool with just the letters. You are cool. I'll say it like that, and then she'll hug me. Oh, what a dream! What a fantasy that is.
You know, cosplayers are real hug sluts. You know, they're past that shit out easy.
They.
But
Can't wait for that. Let's go to Anime Expo right now.
You know, it's kind of a shame because it used to be back in the day that cons were a lot more like physical. Like
glomp me. People used to carry glomp me signs.
Yeah,
and
there
shit,
used to be
right?
glomping. There used to be the yaoi paddles where they would hit girls just walk around hitting people with paddles, and I don't know.
And now there's all these cosplay is not consent, which it totally is. So that's bullshit.
Well, is that actually a thing?
That is
That's
actually
a sign.
a thing.
That's
That
a real thing.
unfortunately is a very real thing.
Well,
I'm wondering if it's actually real that this was a problem. Like, did people assume cosplay was consent? That's news to me.
There is a lot of harassment of female cosplayers at conventions.
I get that, but
and male, actually.
Okay, I don't mean to go over the top here, but aren't they? I mean, I'm talking about harassment in the sense of like calling to them in like reasonable ways.
No,
to
I'm
the
talking
character,
about
but aren't they
harassment,
kind
like
of asking for it. You
I'm
know?
talking about like actual physical harassment. Does happen a lot at conventions.
Well, that's not okay.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. But
unless they're dressed like a slut, in which case,
unless they're Vriska, I mean.
Unless they're Vriska, yeah.
and my very complex and not useful notes that I jotted down that don't bode well or don't translate well into this type of podcast, and therefore I wasted about 30 minutes. I wrote down the words slut in all caps at least 5 times.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in your notes you want to read off? I think we're kind of winding down here.
Well, see, my notes were just every con I've gone to and how I felt at each con and the interesting parts of it. So,
well, it sounds a little detailed, but we get the gist of how positive, of why you enjoyed them, and how it's a little bit different than our experience in general. I mean, there's some shared themes. But
yeah, you reminded me. I wanted to talk about a way that cons have started evolving for me. I'm trying to make them evolve, and it didn't work out as well as I wanted it to at this last Otakon. But so I know a lot of older con goers and eventers. Like there's this one anime blogger called Omo Ikane, who's like probably in his late 30s now, and he's a lifetime eventer. He like flies to Japan just to go to events and stuff. Got a lot of money, right? Goes to lots of shit. And those guys always talk about how like when you go to a convention, it's not really about just going to the convention. It's about going to that city and doing stuff there, you know. And Baltimore, you know, where the convention center is right in the middle of like a big strip that's like famous for its restaurants and stuff and bars. So like at this past Otakon, I really went there with the intention of like, I'm not going to hang out at the convention center most of the time. Right. I want to go and go out and eat, go to all these fancy places, because I'd been going to this con since 2008. You know, it's always in the same place, and I never really been to all the places around that are like all the tourist attractions. Like all that stuff is advertised on the website for Otakon. You know, they really push the idea that like, hey, you're in Baltimore, try the crab. We're famous for our crab. You know, go to all these different places.
I tried the crab.
And then you were betrayed by that restaurant.
Well, not only was I betrayed by Tirnanog was one of the worst restaurant experiences ever. That was at BronyCon, wasn't it? Or
and I like that place. I remember going there.
We went there at BronyCon and they were fine. When we went at Otakon, it was absolutely garbage. But then like aside from that, there were 2 major issues that I didn't account for and that made it not worth it to go to all these places. Because I didn't care about the money. I had money. I had saved up a bunch. I was like, I'm going to go and spare no expense, go to all the interesting stuff. The 2 big miscalculations were, 1, I was the only person with money. So I had no one.
No, that's the worst.
I just went to all these places alone. You know, like. Yeah. And number 2 is that it was like the hottest day in recorded history for like one of the days of the con. So like, and also just that Baltimore stretch is. It's not a great. It's honestly, it's too spread out. There's too much space in between all the restaurants and stuff, and none of them are that great. It's overhyped, you know. I remember one point I like walked a mile in the fucking unbelievable heat, sweating fucking balls. And I went to some crab place, and it was, I don't even really like crab. Like I was hoping that by eating like such a high class crab that it would be different, but no, it's just crab, so
Yep,
I was like, well,
crab.
fuck these restaurants, fuck this town, fuck Baltimore. I'll go somewhere else. But I do think that's a very interesting way to explore conventions, is to not just worry about the convention. And I kind of learned more of that from BronyCon, where each year at BronyCon, I only spent like probably half of it in the con, spent a lot of time in hotel rooms with other people, unfortunately not having sex.
The last one we went to like no fucking panels. Didn't even.
Yeah. No, we literally, other than the panel we ran, we did not attend a single thing at the last BronyCon we went to.
I think you're right.
We just sat around.
And it was a much better time for it.
Yeah. Although that year there fucking was no seating anywhere. Like we spent the whole first day just looking for where to sit.
They fucking roped off our spot too, which was fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it was retarded. That was a huge part of why I didn't want to go back, because I was like, it'd be one thing if we were all gonna go and sit, but there wasn't even anywhere to sit. We were like fucking roaming around looking for where we could fucking hang out. That was fucking garbage. But yeah, I hang out in a lot of hotel rooms, hang out with people, stuff like what Bunny Hop just did at MagFest, where he made that video about the Sony PlayStation, where it's like, he got to go like into this very exclusive room where
Nintendo PlayStation.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The Nintendo PlayStation, and and there's video of like him doing VR with Jeff and shit like that. Like that's fun stuff at conventions that people don't take into account when they think about it, and that's the element I'd like to explore more going to conventions in the future, especially the money spending part. Like it's a great way to just treat it as a vacation and go to a bunch of places. Unfortunately, if all your friends are fucking poor, then you're gonna do all that stuff alone, which is, when you go to an expensive restaurant by yourself, all you're thinking about is how much money you're spending on the food. Like there's no thought. Like that's all it is. It's like I sit down and I go, this is a $16 crab cake. I'm about to spend $16. So all I'm thinking while I'm eating it is this worth $16? This probably isn't worth $16,
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, conventions are great. All this talk about how you don't like conventions just convinced me even more that I love conventions.
I mean, I wasn't trying to present the idea that I don't like conventions, just that as I've gotten older, what I get out of them has changed, and I definitely think I will enjoy them again if I go about them differently. Going with the crowd I've been going with, where we all just kind of split up and go our own ways, is not fun.
No. That's why we're gonna stick together, bro. I'm gonna be on your ass like your dick is fucking gay, which is very. both of those can be preceded with the adjective very.
And also, I don't know where your hotel is, Munchie, in relative to the convention.
It's like right next to it.
Yeah, I highly advise everyone, if you're going to a con, plan ahead, get a fucking room near the convention. It's so much vastly superior. It's like a whole different world when you're close enough. And this past Otakon, we tried to do that.
And think about how you're going to get girls back to your room, guys. Plan your route. Plan out how you're going to do that shit.
I mean, even beyond that, just
like
every year at these conventions, we would always get a hotel that's like 10 minutes out of town, and like you can't hang out and drink all night because like someone, especially if you're sharing a room, if even one person gets tired, then it's like the rest of us are holding that person, like forcing them to be at the con while we do our shit, and then we all have to leave at a certain time. There's sort of like a curfew, and you can't just hang out and enjoy it at your own pace or anything. And then, like, this past year, we got a place that was, like, close enough to the convention that it could be walked, but it was a fucking 40-minute walk, so it was not fun, especially in that heat. Like, we ended up, my friends mostly ended up taking, like, Lyft to and from the convention. It was like,
that's what I would do.
It wasn't even worth it. To walk that distance. So, like, by all means, get a place nearby. It makes it so much easier to hang out and enjoy the atmosphere.
So, okay. Gib, do you have any closing thoughts on your convention?
We're only an hour and 36 minutes into this.
We're right, but I want to go to questions, because I feel like we've explored this pretty thoroughly by this point.
I want to talk about fucking BronyCon!
We already talked about BronyCon.
Go ahead.
I like BronyCon.
If you have anything worth saying,
BronyCon
then go ahead
2013. Boring. Digibro. Crazy. Next note. BronyCon 2014. Horror. I love Ben Saint.
Yep.
Actual activities.
That's where you met him, right?
No. Yep, that's where I met him. The first thing that Ben's ever said to me, I shook hands with Digi and I was like, hey, and then like he moves out of the way, like out of like the camera like view, like the eye camera, and then I like pan over to this fucking retard, and his name is Ben Saint, and he just shakes my hand.
At that time, he was named Phantom Horn.
Yeah. And he just says, hey, I've heard a lot about you, and I haven't heard anything about him. But then I found out. BronyCon 2015.
Hey, you know, when this might amuse you to know, Munchie, at that time, when Ben told me about you, I thought you were way overhyped. I thought you were way overhyped. That's right, buddy.
What does that mean exactly?
How is he hyped exactly?
This is my art that I'm presenting to you for you to interpret however you wish. So you were overhyped. There you go.
Like overhyped. I don't remember ever presenting
people
Munchie as
liked
that.
me too much?
I'll explain the joke, I guess, because Ben was really excited about Munchie and thought he was really cool, and I was meh.
Oh,
yeah, Ben was
okay.
definitely Ben was in love with Munchie from an
Ben's
early
been a
point.
big cheerleader of yours for a long time.
Mutual. BronyCon 2015. End of Rome. I hate Romans. Second note. I hate MLP. Note number 3. I love Victor/Ben. All right, that's the end of my notes.
Was that really all of them? That's all the notes you had? That you?
Well, I had more,
minutes?
but I cut out the other ones.
Okay.
I only
Good.
did
They were
the
probably
ones.
shitty anyway.
I'm gonna piss on the PCP.
Okay. Anyway, we interrupted Gib. He was gonna say some bullshit.
I mean,
Oh my God! What the fuck? No! This is not real. This is fake.
of all the things that could interrupt me,
No.
literal piss.
No. He's pouring water. He's pouring water into a fucking glass or something.
I'm honestly not. Nate,
you
brought this upon your fucking
I don't believe you. There's no way that we've devolved to this level on my fucking show, Munchie. I won't have it.
Still going.
What could you
Nah,
possibly?
see, that's too long. You
Yeah.
blew it, buddy. You went too long. Now I know that you're pouring shit.
Do you want me to send you a picture, Nate? Do you really
Yeah,
want to?
send me a goddamn picture of you pissing on your computer.
Okay.
Yeah. Snapchat me, bro. Snapchat me.
All right. Taking a
Nate
I
picture
really
right now.
hope that was into a bottle or something.
Oh, it
Oh my
was.
God. We have hit rock bottom, folks.
I
This
can't
is the-
decide if I believe that was real piss.
No,
It
I
went
don't
for
believe.
so
I don't buy it.
long.
All right.
Well, he's a big boy.
He is a
I'm
big
gonna
boy.
send
boy.
it to you, bro. Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
send
there's-
me,
shit.
bottle that piss and email that to me so I
God,
can
there's
see
so much
your.
piss all over my phone. Hold on.
Okay, anyway, we were supposed to be listening to fucking Gib talk about something. Take it
I mean,
away,
I
buddy.
don't think I can top that. I mean,
Anything
Alright.
could top that. That was rock
anything-
bottom.
It's true.
okay, all right. I'm gonna go to, I don't know, what was it, Anime Expo where there's Homestuck stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna find and talk to a human being called Vriska, and I'm gonna say you're cool, and I'm gonna
She's not a human being.
hopefully. Oh yeah, well I'm gonna troll an alien girl. Alien girl. And I'm gonna buy a Homestuck thing, and that's gonna be my future for cons, and or going with Jeff to Magfest to meet real cool guys.
The
I
good news
guess.
is there's lots of Riska cosplayers. At least there were. At least there
How
were. I assume
long,
there's still.
Hippo, do you think? Like, what's the timetable on this plan? Like, could you actually afford to do any of this in the next year?
I technically I can, but it would be eating into stuff that I kind of want to save up for, like, in case I, die.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm probably
yeah,
going to
fair.
Anime Expo with Munchie this year, so there is a room out there you can join
This year.
All right, I
when
took a
is that
picture and I
anyway?
posted it in the
When is
PCP Discord.
in July.
July. Yeah, summer plane journeys are really expensive.
Yeah, you could room with us. There'd be no problem.
I could.
You just
room.
have to hear me piss a lot.
Munchie
This
has
is just
posted
apple juice, dude. I know you're a big apple juice guy. You poured apple juice into that glass.
I don't
is what
have
happened.
No. Look,
Maybe you
look
should
at
have
the
a
phone.
taste, Nate.
It looks pretty
to
fuck.
see.
It looks like piss, dude. I think he actually pissed. Although that cup looks too small for the amount of time that piss went on for.
That's too much
It's
piss.
not.
There would
Here.
have been less
Oh,
piss
you're actually
than that.
looking at it. Ew, gross.
Here, no.
It's just
Here.
apple juice, dude. Don't
I
worry.
like how
Don't worry.
he made sure to post this in the Ben Saint chat. By the way,
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did.
Anyway,
Here, I'll put
I
my
don't know,
blue
maybe
snowball
I
mic
could
up
come
to
to Anime
it
Expo.
for-
I would need to make a bit more of a Patreon buck
Yeah.
Yeah.
or something. Go to youtube.com/patreon/Louis Batten, I guess. Give me money for that, so I can go find Vriska and live my dream of saying hello.
My Vriska's living her dream. My Vriska's living her dream. My Vriska's living her dream. That's an old good meme.
Yep, good old meme, old good.
All right, we ready to answer the questions here?
I think so.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to reiterate my point, everybody. I still think it's a good... I think that's a wise policy. It's for children. Conventions are for children. Take your kids somewhere if you want them to be indoctrinated into that culture and to have some crazy experiences because they're kids and they don't know what real life is like yet. There you go. Okay. All right, here's some questions. Now, actually, there were some pretty good questions on here as I was looking through. Where's the one I was looking at? Okay. Here's a very specific question, but I liked it. I thought you might like this, Digi. This is by at Monkey Away. Procrastinators, what should I listen to while I play Dark Souls 3 now that I've run out of TPC podcasts and Digibro After Dark content?
The biggest problem in the universe, and then
That's
the
what
Dick
I was
Show,
thinking.
which is what I listen to almost exclusively while playing Dark Souls.
There you go, Monkey. Perfect. Gib, suggestion?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, there you go. Listen
I'll
to
do
Dick
that.
Show or Biggest Problem in the Universe. Okay, what do we got here? Here's a terrible question. If you could choose any YouTuber to survive the apocalypse with, who would it be? No duplicate answers.
That anime snob.
You would.
I
How
could
fast
probably
would you
eat him and
fucking
he would be
die?
fat and he would be... No, wait, Movie Bob, because there's plenty of meat on him. I could kill him.
That's smart.
I could survive for quite a while on that.
I'm
I
gonna
would choose...
I'm gonna pick
oh, sorry,
Nate,
go
the
ahead.
only other human who's responsible that I know other than myself. So, because we'll probably actually figure out what we're doing.
That's true. I would choose Lacey Green
Oh,
because
well,
she has
yeah.
those because she's a dirty slut and she's got wide birthing hips, so it could could quickly create a new
That's
human
true.
race, and that would be she's a breeder. She's my breeder, is what I'm picking her for. So
Why did I stick? This is why I can't get a girlfriend. I only think about my stupid guy friends. I never think about women out there in the
Yeah, there
world
you
that I could be trapping
I
on
was
an
thinking
island
about
with
women,
me.
but I couldn't think of like a YouTuber who was a female.
We're trapping in a post-apocalypse.
SS Sniper Wolf? She's oh god.
It doesn't
But-
even
but-
matter.
Said that.
Like the answer should have just been any female. And
yeah, if it's just only two of you, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be the thing to do. Okay, let's see. What else we got?
Wait, I didn't get to
here?
answer, you fucking slut.
Oh, I'm sorry, Munchie,
you
please.
fucking whore.
I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
It would be any female,
Fancy.
obviously. You didn't let me have my input.
Okay.
You could sex change Ben Saint and bring him.
Oh, no,
That'd be
that wouldn't
ideal,
work out
right?
well. No, that'd be against nature. That'd be against God.
Oh my god.
There's so much
There-
piss in my fucking.
There is this one
God.
person asking these incredibly emotional questions.
I like how
Holy
much he
shit.
went so far for that piss joke that it's like ruined. Like he's now uncomfortably sitting covered in piss, and like
It really is really fucking sad. Like how much like piss didn't
for
go
an-
into the
get a
cup.
for
towel,
an
wipe it up, dude.
audio-only piss joke that he could have faked easily. He
Yeah,
went all
I mean,
out.
But to me, I know it's real, and to the listeners, I know they know it's real too. So just imagine me doing it.
Hey, this person. Okay, well, I'm gonna answer this one real quick. At Riperoni Pasta. Yeah, I think that's it. Riperoni Pasta asks opinion on the Rants series. It's the best. Sengoku Rants is a
what?
genius game. The Rants, like Sengoku Rants.
Gay
Rants
Japanese.
1 through 7. It's all these crazy sex arrow games where you do awesome shit.
It's
the
a
best.
it's a
Everyone
game
play it.
about trying to rape your way through ancient Japan.
Yeah, but in that universe, rape is like a handshake, so
Yeah,
it's great and
well,
everyone loves it. So
Yeah, I played 15 minutes of it. I played up until when the gameplay starts, and then I looked at it
Yeah,
and I went, I
yeah.
don't fucking comprehend this at all, and I quit.
It's fucking brutal.
But I have
it's
a-
one
I
of
have
the
a-
hardest games I've ever played.
I have a hug pillow of Uesugi Kenshin. Didn't know who she
right.
was for like years. I got it because it was like I bought a manga magazine from Japan that was only $30 like after shipping, thing, and it came with a free Dakimakura. So it was like the
Goddamn.
best deal in the world.
I'd buy that.
Yeah, me and my friend Donson both bought it. We both bought the same set because he just like told me about it. He's like, "Hey, free Dakimakura," and I was like, "Well, shit, I only wanted it for weeb cred." Like,
Of course.
I mean, most of what's in my room is not here because I like it. It's here because I wanted to have an otaku room. Because back in the day, that was like a thing that people would post these images of the otaku room, which is like no white space anywhere. It's all anime posters and shit. And I always thought that was super cool, and I wanted to have it. So.
And you're carrying that torch to this very
I'm starting
day.
to work on the ceiling. I've put up a line of posters, but they look like shit and they keep falling. So and I'm realizing that it's going to take even more posters than I thought to cover my whole ceiling. So, but I got to do it before I move.
To note on that poster things, and it goes slightly back to the cons, another reason why I actually like conventions is because I live in literally like minimalist like a painting. Like I have nothing in my room. I have no possessions.
Why?
Like I'm looking up at my like the only things that decorate my room as a like the only thing that isn't plain white walls is an American flag and like 2 Undertale posters.
I don't understand. What fills the hole in your life left by not having any human companionship if you don't have stuff? How do you live?
Myself and piss and bot flies.
Is it?
Botfly. Yeah, how'd you get the
Is it
piss
less
out
than
through all those
Dabu's room?
botflies in your botfly?
Well, they joined in too.
Oh, okay.
Munchies, do you have less stuff than Davu in his room?
You know what? I actually have one more poster than he has.
Incredible.
So, yeah.
Impressive. Okay, let's move along here. Here, a bunch of questions by this guy, but let's only answer one decent one by @GypsyGypsy. Who are your Smash Bros mains and why? He said in all caps.
Okay. No. Shut the fuck up. This is my question. This is my question. Okay. When I was a little baby boy, when I was a little Baptist boy whipper, I loved Kirby. And so I played Kirby. I got really good as Kirby. This was in Brawl. I played Melee a lot, but I didn't play Melee a lot. I played Brawl a lot, and I played Brawl a lot. So in Brawl, I really liked to play Kirby. And then Smash 4 came out, and I was like, Kirby definitely is the worst character in this entire fucking game, and I'm really upset. But I really like Kirby, so I'm gonna stay like a Kirby guy, not like the guy Kirby, but as in like the greater like expanded Star Wars universe Kirby. So I played DDD. I know how to play DDD a lot. I like DDD. He's a good guy. He's really slow. I'm slow, and not in the mental way. I'm the fastest guy around, but I'm slow as in I'm really fat and I can't move my limbs, and I also piss way too much because I'm full of piss. Anyway, and also I really like Mewtwo because Mewtwo is like really good in that game, and he's also fun. Ganondorf is fun because he's like big and like dude like fuck he has like a huge dick, like huger than my like forearm. He's like a huge like horse dick. And yes, I love Super Smash Bros. Please, I'm drooling. I'm drooling right now.
All right, let's keep it together.
Ganondorf's pretty good in 4. I think he's fun to play, but
oh, he's fun to play, but if tier lists are any way to view the game, then he's like the worst
tier
fucking
lists.
character.
I cry tears.
Yeah,
when
I was
people
gonna
talk
say
about
I have a
lists.
tear on my cheek every time
Yeah,
they talk
I mean,
about tier
you're right.
lists.
You're right. You are
My-
correct.
I can't even like I played Smash.
agree.
I know in Smash 1, I played Pikachu, but that game's ancient and grappling with the onset of menopause. And
What?
it's a line from Billy and Mandy. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, I think I played Pikachu briefly and then Link or something. I don't know. All I know is eventually I found Samus, and I've been playing Samus for like 8 years, and she's the only character I'm any good with. And as the people here can attest to, am I not actually a pretty okay Samus player?
It was
true.
funny
That's true.
when I played you on Digibros. I expected you to be like literally the worst player in the entire fucking world.
Yeah, everyone thinks
But-
I'm just garbage at all video games, but I've been playing Samus for so fucking long that I can actually do it.
I still beat you. It
Yeah.
was easy.
Well, it helps
Yeah,
that I
true.
have the way I play her is different from I think how anybody else plays Smash at all. So it's
Yeah.
Is
I
that
think
an
it's
excuse or
well,
something?
what I'm saying is I think it's just. It's not that I'm great, it's that the way I play is so different that it takes getting used to, and once Munchie
Yeah.
probably figured out the patterns, he was able to deal with it more easily.
Smash is all like you
see.
could go up against like one of the best players in the world, and if you just play like a retard slash differently,
Yeah.
as
Yeah, you can
Digi is
win,
known to
possibly.
do,
Yeah.
then yeah.
Because
Smash
I
is
just
the best video
I
game
just
ever fucking
I
made.
fucking spam missiles and jump around like an asshole, and that's how I
All right,
You know,
yeah.
there's fuck.
My main since Nintendo 64 days was always been Samus and Kirby, because Kirby could, when he gets hit, you can fly a lot, so that made it easy to get back to the stage. And also Samus, because the up B was ridiculous in that first game.
Oh, yeah.
And also I hate Link, because my brother's always played Link, and that's why I don't like Legend of Zelda as much as the Metroid series.
Yep. I unironically had the exact same emotion. My friend, I have, my friends are divided into two types of people. The fucking assholes and the even worse fucking assholes. the first fucking assholes are the people who are, actually good at the game, and they all play Link. I'm serious. Literally everyone plays Link.
Guess who my main is? Guess who my main is? It's Toon Link.
Yes, Toon Link. Toon Link
worst
is
one.
Yeah, I know.
I know, he's way worse.
and the other assholes are the people who play Samus. So it's funny that we have two fucking degenerates in this call right now.
To be honest, Toon Link was the guy that I've played the most over the years. I have not played him much in Smash 4. Now I almost exclusively play Peach. Is my probably number one
Peach
most
is cool.
played.
Peach is
Then
awesome.
Jigglypuff, who I love to play.
Also cool.
And now I play a lot of Cloud.
Both of those are like
boy.
S tier
Cloud is awful.
characters.
Are you telling me Jigglypuff is S tier?
Wait.
Yeah,
What game?
Hungry
What game?
Box fucking is like the champion of the world. using
Just
Jigglypuff.
because
In
Hungry Box
fucking
is the
Melee,
champion of the
not
world
in
doesn't
Smash
make
4.
the character
Smash
S
4
tier
fucking
necessarily.
Jigglypuff sucks.
Yeah, I'm
Also,
talking about
mention,
general.
I forgot to mention Pacifist Donkey Kong is also.
Oh yeah,
mine.
I was
That's a good
gonna
name.
ask you
everyone
to
should try that.
I was gonna ask you to explain that, but then I remembered we do it in the Smash Let's Play that I haven't uploaded yet.
Yeah.
Which is
so
funnily
we'll
enough,
shit.
like during RadCon, I actually edited and uploaded that video, but the audio sync was like 30 seconds off, so I was gonna resync it, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So that video's been uploaded on private for like 3 weeks, and I just haven't fixed it. But it will be there. There is a 2-hour-long Smash Bros. Let's Play with all the PCP boys in it.
Yeah. It was.
Forward to that.
It could have been better.
Okay, let's
yes.
let's move along here. We don't got time to spend on Smash Bros all day here.
Yes, we do.
What? Okay, by Ennui on Me. Once again, hey there, Ennui. What is one medium you want to create in, but probably never will?
Comics.
A lot.
Just one. Just pick one. Let's not fuck around. And go
Anime.
crazy. Anime. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Honestly, modern art sculpture, because I've always been really good with my hands, but the idea of just doing that as a career is
oh baby, he's good with his
Does
hands.
does architecture count as a art form?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Sure.
Yeah, I've always had a hard on for architecture, but it's not something I have any because it's all math and I hate math, so there's no chance I will ever do anything with architecture. But I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
If anybody knows Anish Kapoor, the guy who did that giant mirror thing in some city and some other cool things, he's an inspiration when I was in art, studying art.
Is
He
this
does,
the mirror thing that
3D.
caused fires on people as they were walking home in the middle of the
That
day?
sounds
That guy,
awesome.
see your hero?
It looks like a big bean that you can walk under, and it's just a big mirror.
Cool.
Oh, I know that.
You must have seen
yeah,
that.
Yeah, of course. I know what you're
He's a
talking
famous
about.
guy. He does lots of really cool sculptures like that, and I've always wanted to be low key wanted to be a big sculpture person making really cool things like that, because he's one of those fine artists who is actually making stuff that's interesting and not just something that's really delicate and has to be inside behind a glass case that's boring. Mm-hmm. He makes huge structures. The London 2012 Olympics has a giant red tower that he built and designed.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
He's
sick.
cool.
Munchie, you got one?
Yeah. I want to get into, but probably never will do, anything with my voice, including podcasts.
You blew it, Munchie. You blew that one.
Well, because
You blew that horn.
yeah. See, the thing is, I don't. It's not that I dislike my voice, but I don't think it's very versatile, and I would like to sing. Well, no, I wouldn't want to sing. I don't want to do anything. Never mind.
I'm looking at that red tower, and it looks like a roller coaster, crumpled into a ball.
Apparently, there is
cool.
a slide that you can actually go down in that.
Neat.
That's pretty cool. Hey, do terrorist acts count as an art form? Because if so,
Oh my god,
mean-
I would be so into that. That's not something
That's
that's
just like that guy from Naruto, the guy who thinks explosions are art and he makes things with little mouth.
Oh
hands.
yeah, that guy, Daidara, whatever that guy's name is. Yeah,
I
that
don't think
guy.
I made it that far into Naruto.
Okay,
It's
I got
Akatsuki.
I got 2 more questions, I think. Here's one, another one, but this is a good one by @gypsy. Name one good thing to come from the PCP. You stumped me, dude. I
the
got
Undertaler 587.
the Undertale. You know what? You got it there, buddy.
and
I think in general the Royal Rumble
the
yeah,
Royal
yeah.
Rumble.
was
Yeah.
pretty great.
we got so much art and shit from that. It was great. It's the
great.
best video we've ever made.
Suck on that,
Also,
Gypsy.
Also, the new meme of me pissing on the PCP, which will be a meme. I've already foreseen it. That's also another great thing that's come out of this.
It'll start a chain reaction. Every podcast that anyone is in, somebody has to pee at some
I've never.
I'll always
You
be the
can't,
one
you can't
to
leave
do it.
until you pee.
In spite
Oh,
of
God damn
being
it.
someone who loves peeing outdoors and in strange places, I could never pee into a bottle. It's just it's a hang up. I can't do it.
That was the
Not
first
even
time I've
with a
ever done
funnel?
it in like 6 years.
I've told that story about how my roommate pissed in bottles when I was in college, right?
Yeah.
We don't need to go into that shit. These
Sick.
things haunt my nightmares.
I-
Okay, you know
If
what?
you don't have a bottle, just piss into your mouth. It's easy.
That's much more efficient. I was going to say one more, but here's a question that I didn't see, and I got to address this one by @joestar93. Nate, how good was that One Piece movie that you were tweeting about? And let me tell you, buddy, that One Piece movie that I was watching and tweeting about earlier, movie 6,
Yep.
like Baron Okutsuki
Omatsuri.
and the Omatsuri and the Island of Mystery or some bullshit like that. Movie number 6, it was great. It was by far the best One Piece movie I've seen. Everyone was right. It is great. And to answer other questions that people were asking me, now's as good a place as any because I kind of wanted to talk about this and thought I'd never get a chance. But here, one has fallen into my lap. Yes, I did watch it because I was reminded of that movie's existence by Super Eye Patch Wolf. And watching his new video about One Piece today. Did not love his video, and I watched that movie only because I was reminded that it exists and do
So
not want
fucking
cucks
defensive.
like him
I know.
to lord the fact that they've seen that movie over
Literally
me
no one
any
cared.
longer. I care, all right? And by the way, he's dead wrong. That is not a great place to get into One Piece. Start
Yeah.
from chapter 1 of the manga. Don't listen to him. He's an idiot. Okay, let's move on. And last question. Now, this guy actually asked a couple, and they were all, like, full of pathos and were really,
Oh my God.
like, when you hear this, you'll know, like, where this guy was when he asked these questions. So this is Erato or at Intrepid Feline. Okay, here's the first question. How hard is it for you guys to meet new people? And but before we answer that, let me just read his other questions. Next one, what advice do you guys give to trying to make friends? And then the next one is, how talkative are you guys outside of the podcast? So I'm starting to get the kind of guy that this is. And brother, I love you, and
Yeah.
I want to legitimately answer these questions. So who wants to take any of those?
Well, I will say that the reason we talk to each other is not because we're good at meeting new people. It's because we like the content that each other makes.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's one way to talk to people, is just to be someone really good at doing stuff.
I mean, if we're talking about on the internet, the best way to meet new people is just like, hey, I love your work, or something, or just like go to any community anywhere and find someone who has similar interests to you and talk to them. I think making friends on the internet is like a dime a dozen. You can easily do it. It's just about having literally
agree.
anything to talk about.
Dude,
Meeting
I don't
people-
think this guy needs internet friends, though. I mean, based on these questions, I can tell this is a lonely individual.
I got the
who's
sense it
trying
was
to-
more about, like making real friends or human connections, in which case you are barking up the absolute worst tree you could be barking up at this
That's
situation.
true. That's
I
true.
haven't met
I
a
don't
new
claim to
person
be an expert.
in
Go on,
years.
Ditch, go on.
The only times I meet new people are either, online, like either we meet them through them being great. Like the last new person I met online is Mumkey,
Right.
made great videos, got in contact with him, slowly developed a sort of like, hey, test the waters. This guy seem like our kind of guy. He does seem like our kind of guy. All right, let's drag him into the crew. And now I've met him in real life. He came by my house. Cool guy, right? As for offline, I only ever meet people if for some reason someone is assimilated into my friends' friends, and even then I don't hang out with my own friends anymore. So I've actually not only have I not met a new person in years, I've actively repelled almost everyone I knew before. So like now I'm at probably the least number of friends I've ever had is right now. So
I'd just like to say I am in a similar situation right now. Tomorrow, in fact, I'm going to go to a local pub just to see how easy it is to talk to new people, meet real people that I can say. I mean, it's not like I'm bad at talking. The only way you get good at talking is by, practice. Yeah. But the act of like going up to a person is completely different from knowing how to talk once the conversation has got going.
I've truly realized.
So it's really just I don't know, just go into places where people are, and eventually something might happen.
I've realized how awful I am at like even wanting to talk to people, because the other day my mom's a part of a School of Rock program, and they were doing a live show at this bar called Hot Tuna up the street from me, and like basically everyone my mom knows was invited. I didn't know they were all going to be there, but like it was at a bar, and so I was thinking, hey, I can, have a few drinks. Maybe I'll talk to someone. Maybe there'll be a girl I could talk to. Who knows? And I wore my fucking giant fur coat because it stands out and it's cool.
Alpha's peacocking, dog.
Yeah,
peacocking
in my big coat. And I had like a glass of wine before going, but it wasn't enough to get me drunk, unfortunately, because I should have just gotten like sauced before I got there. But like I showed up, and of course it's mostly my parents' friends, and like everyone wanted to talk to me. I got tons of people like commenting on my jacket. Lots of people, who know me, but I don't know them, because they all know my work and stuff from Facebook. My parents share my shit all the time, especially my raps. So I was getting a lot of questions about like my rap and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, oh, hi. Like actively deflecting everyone and like wanting nothing to do with anybody. And I was just like, what am I doing? I don't even like people are actively trying to connect with me, and I am just telling them to fuck off, essentially, in so many words. So yeah, I am the last person to come through for advice on this.
Errato.
I am.
Okay, Munchie, go ahead.
I'm the best person to come and to ask about this, because here's what you have to understand. I'm the same. Like there is no like real life me. There is no other me. I am like this all the time. However, there is one difference. If you meet me on the side of the street, then you will realize, you observe my actions, and you observe me in my natural habitat.
You will learn the meaning of fear.
Actually, you will learn the meaning of friendship and charitable actions, because I am the nicest person in the entire fucking universe.
Just not for the kikes, that's all. That's the one thing,
As all the people in this call are,
right?
Kikes and niggers, I am like no matter even if you're just some random fucking normie, I will actively try to be your best fucking friend if I meet you in real life. Like if you just bump into me or something, and you're like, oh hey, I'm a tourist here in Redacted. Do you know how to fucking kill people? I'll be like, do I ever, bro? Here, I'm gonna be your dad now. We're gonna kill people together. That's what it's like. Well, you have to understand. Okay, not about me. You who asking this. Just act like you're crazy and act like you are unstable. And if you do that, people will come in and they will have to be your friend, or else they'll be scared they're gonna die, or else they'll be scared you're gonna kill them. So if you just act like you're going to kill people, then people will like you.
Well said, Munchie. I want to comment on this. Intrepid Feline, I feel your suffering here. I know what it's like to be lonely and want to make friends and not be able to communicate very well. I was like that for a long time, and still am in some ways. So I just want you to know, it sounds like, I mean, I feel like I know you, that if you're watching this podcast, which clearly you are, then I feel like you fit into kind of this nerdy guy on the internet group, probably doesn't socialize a lot, by your own volition, or by your question, I'm inferring that you're not a very talkative person. I would just highly recommend that you just change your life in such ways, and it doesn't have to be drastic, but just try to make changes in your life where you're around more people more of the time, because really what you're talking about is grinding a skill set of communication and like meeting new people. So like, just if you can, try to make changes in your life that put you in contact with a lot of people so that you can, you know, kind of grind up your talking skills as fast as possible, and put you in contact with lots of people so that you, as fast as possible, will meet people that you find a kinship with. And like, and I wouldn't really recommend like pursuing internet friendships that much, because there's just, as human beings, there's just such a great benefit to having like contact with people physically and face to face, as opposed to talking online, which can, you know, cause all kinds of problems. So, you know, just try to get out there more and make like small changes, like go to the library and do your homework there instead of doing it in your room or something like that. Because, you know, there'll be people there, maybe they'll say something, and try to push yourself little by little to say things that maybe you don't feel comfortable saying right now, like maybe complimenting somebody, or if someone's got a shirt with something that you like if someone's wearing a fucking Death Note shirt, dude, get in there. Let him know that it's your favorite anime. You know,
That's not a joke.
Shit like that. That is why I wore, you know, I wore anime shirts my entire like young life, and I just, looking back at myself, I know it was that so I would get people to comment on them so I could make friends.
And
that's a weird thing. 'Cause,
people
like,
didn't. So be the hero who does, man. They want to be talked to about that if they're wearing them. Be empowered.
I've never like really worn shirts with like logos and stuff on them, because I just generally thought, it's tacky. I'll just wear a t-shirt that is a color.
Yeah.
And nobody comes up to me. But then that one time at BronyCon, where I was wearing the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff shirt, a guy
Love that
cosplaying as
shirt.
Dave looked at me. He was also very shy, and we didn't really approach each other. We were saying, "Hey, you're wearing my stuff," and I was like, "Yeah."
Stuff.
And
Method
but it was
acting,
like
bro.
it was cool. It was like,
I'm with you.
you know, I'd never really experienced that much before.
To expand,
and it was
That's
it was
kind of the
nice.
magic of cons, you
To
know?
ex-
Shared experiences can bloom into friendships, you know?
to expand
Exactly.
on that point, like, not just that you should go up and talk to other people if they're wearing something cool, but if someone talks to you, make sure you like
That's true.
be prepared
That's the other
for,
half.
because for me, I actually get, it's shocking how much I get talked to when I'm out and how little I say in response, because I'm always wearing something fucking weird, something that attracts attention. I go around in a bathrobe, and everywhere I go, people are like, "Oh man, you look comfortable," you know, and it's like they're being like genuinely friendly, and all I ever do is go like, "Yeah," you know, like there's very few times that I actually go and like try to make that into a conversation. It's not hard to do. I all the time when I'm out, because you know I eat out like every day, and I'll hear people having
Yeah, dude. Pew! Pew!
Yeah.
Eating out every day, dog.
I'll hear people having like just conversations all the time. You know, the other day I was at a Filipino restaurant. Someone came in and they're just, you know, they're waiting for their food to be cooked, so they just strike up a conversation with the cashier, and the two of them are just shooting the shit about whatever. And like if you talk to someone like that, you know, you might become friends with them you know, maybe you'll realize that they're really fun to talk to, you know. And I went up to the counter and I was standing there, and the guy had the guy at the cash register who I'd just been listening to have this conversation with some, you know, just some guy. I'm looking, and there's a 3DS right there with the Majora's Mask logo on it, and I'm thinking to myself, just say, what are you playing? You know, what game are you playing? What are you playing? And I kept thinking it, and I didn't say anything, and then just left.
Wow.
So be in that situation and say, what game are you playing? Because you'll probably have a conversation about video games, and maybe you guys like the same video games. Maybe he wants to, you know, give you his Xbox gamer tag, and you guys can fucking play games together and become friends, and then remember that you live in the same town and you can actually go hang out with them, you know?
That's what this is.
Yeah,
It's constantly be kind of putting out little constantly be extending little olive branches to people, or little, you know, friendship offerings, and because eventually
what it is
someone will
is
take it
that-
up, you know.
Like, I mean, the problem with me, and a lot of people like me, like being shy, is that you think about all these things. You know, you go to a place where there are people, but you don't end up saying anything. You just think, oh, but what if it doesn't work? It's always about like being prepared to look like a complete idiot. I think is the most important thing for people. It's just like, you know that it's not going to be that bad, but you're thinking it is going to be terrible.
And
But you gotta be prepared for it to be the worst thing that could ever happen, and then it won't.
And I recommend listening to other people's conversations, because when you do so, what you'll quickly realize is that everything everyone talks about is vapid and retarded, and nothing you will say is going to sound dumb, because everything everyone talks about is totally stupid. Like, people just get, like that guy having the conversation at the counter. It's just like, this Trump guy, hoo-ho, like, yep, hey, like, not even saying words, just just emitting sounds from your mouth is enough. It's just about the human connection. They're not having a conversation that's meaningful or interesting. They just want to, I'm sitting in a place with another human, let's, make it not quiet in here. Like, that's all people want. You don't have to come on, you don't have to be a charming, cool, smart, funny guy. You just have to be willing to talk, and you're in,
Just about togetherness and feeling like you're in the part of the same community as one another. It's
I just want to leave you with like an action plan here. Just try to change your life a little bit so that you go out in public. There are people that you could theoretically talk to around you, and try to make some effort to reach out to them in whatever small way that you can. And this, I want to emphasize, this really is a skill set. So like they were saying, it's not going to go perfectly at first, but don't worry about it. Just think about how you're improving, and it will lead to better things later on.
You gotta grind those RPG stats, bro.
That's exactly the way I think about it when doing this shit.
Just try and
hopefully
be
that was
nice
helpful.
And be cool. And
exactly.
you already are.
Good luck, intrepid feline.
I'm gay.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. I have to add on. Be really, really, really gay. That's how I got into the podcast. Just be like the gayest fucking person possible. Digi, you're gay, right? Like that's worked out for you,
I'm
right?
gay and dead, as a matter of fact.
It's worked out double for this guy. God damn. Okay, that's enough. All right, thanks everybody for listening. Be sure to tweet us podcast suggestions or questions like this at TP Crastinators on Twitter. And this will be going up, and we'll answer more of your questions next week. So be there, be square, friends. And just so you know, whenever we're recording these, generally on Saturdays, we put a little note that says, hey, send us questions, and we respond to them like we just did now. So be there, and, you'll be available to get your questions answered. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for being here, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I piss into a bottle.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be working right now. I'm supposed to be working right now, but I'm not working. I'm doing nothing. My dick I'm jerking. Myself I'm sucking. I am an asshole. I am a stupid. I've got a deadline. Don't wanna do it. What the hell is wrong with me? I'm supposed to be making money. I'm supposed to be creating funny things that the people gladly will pay for. Artistic genius, that's what they came for. Instead I'm tweeting, hashtag repeating. That's why there's no heat and holes in the ceiling. Yeah, it's quite the burden. It's a hard knock life, being a genius.